Ladies and Gentlemen, Boys and Girls. Geht sofort los. So. Moin. Herzlich willkommen zu ausnahmsweise mal einem Mittagsstream. Weil ich gerade dabei gewesen bin, quasi ein bisschen an OBS rumzubasteln. Ja, ich habe jetzt den neuen Rechner, neuen PC und so. Und habe dann mal ein bisschen rumgebastelt an den Einstellungen. Das heißt, hier die Encoder-Stellung mal höher gestellt von Very Fast auf, ja, wie es jetzt stehen. Ich glaube Medium. Ja, genau. Von Very Fast auf Medium, also quasi nochmal 3 Plätze höher. Da war gerade die Internetverbindung kacke, aus irgendwelchen komischen Gründen. Hab mal ein bisschen sonst noch die Videobitrate höher gestellt, von 5 auf 6000. Und allgemein so ein bisschen dran gebastelt, auch bei den erweiterten Einstellungen mal ein bisschen rumgefummelt. Und will jetzt einfach mal gucken, wie das Ganze dann qualitätsmäßig am Ende sein wird. Weil mir aufgefallen ist bei Doom Eternal, dass es da doch immer wieder mal im Stream letztens hier und da ein bisschen Fragmentbildungen gab, dass es nicht ganz so schick ausgesehen hat. Aber gut, ist in anderer Hinsicht auch immer noch, ne, Doom Eternal. Das ist sehr schnell, da passiert sehr viel. Not for Broadcast schaue ich mir jetzt dafür an. Ist zwar überhaupt nicht geeignet für schnelle Bilder und so ein Kram, aber es ist ein Spiel, das ich, seit wir damals den Key dafür bekommen haben von Tiny Build, ist das ein Spiel, das ich so unfassbar gerne im Stream zocken will und allgemein zocken möchte. Aber mein alter PC hat das nicht hingekriegt, weil VRAM wird 4 GB erfordert. Ich hatte damals nur 3, jetzt habe ich 12. Alles besser und ich hoffe, dass das jetzt auch besser funktioniert. So. Dann noch ein kurzer Programmhinweis. It Takes Two wird voraussichtlich Samstag Abend, Schrägstrich Nachmittag, ich denke aber eher gegen Abend eventuell weitergehen. Eventuell schon auch während der Feiertage. Beziehungsweise am Freitag vielleicht auch schon oder auch schon Donnerstag, mal schauen. Doom Eternal werde ich heute Abend, denke ich mal, aussetzen. Dafür gibt es heute Abend Among Us, wenn alles gut geht und genug Leute zusagen. Dann werden wir nämlich die neue Map, die heute rauskommt, spielen. Und ich hoffe, dass das durchaus funktionieren wird. Was ist da mit dem Internet die ganze Zeit los? Hä? Was ist da mit dem Internet die ganze Zeit los? Ist ja eine Frechheit. Da ist nämlich gerade wieder kurz weg gewesen. Egal. Ich würde sagen, wir setzen das Spiel fort. Es ist mehr oder weniger der Speicherstand vom damals, als ich es im Stream angezockt hatte und gezeigt hatte. In dem Sinne einfach nochmal, auch wenn ihr es nirgends stehen seht. Sag mal, was ist denn da los? Was ist denn da los mit dem Internet? Lass mir mal kurz gucken hier. Irgendwas, das ich hier nicht brauche. Gibt's doch bestimmt irgendwas. Darum kümmere ich mich jetzt gleich sofort. Das kann weg. Das kann weg. Origin kann weg. Wieso ist Origin überhaupt? Egal. Wieso habe ich zweimal den Rechner hier laufen im Hintergrund? Was soll das? Das kann weg. Dann haben wir noch... Was ist... Moment mal kurz. Was ist das? Hm. Mhm. Mhm. Gibt es nicht? Das gibt es scheinbar auch nicht. Okay, jetzt bin ich neugierig. Genau deswegen macht man solche Tests, ne? 31.3. Warum habe ich das überhaupt? Was ist das genau? Gerade als ich das Update gemacht habe, quasi. Wieso brauche ich das Ding überhaupt, dieses Programm? Das ist für mich jetzt noch nicht wirklich erkennbar. Dateipfad öffnen. Das bin ich nämlich da. Entschuldigung. Kann ich das denn irgendwie... Okay, ja, immerhin. Dann machen wir das eben. Muss ja immer schnell technische Sachen klären, die jetzt gerade durch ein Update aufgetaucht sind, die ich eher für sinnlos betrachte, zugegeben. Das brauche ich nun mal wirklich nicht. Yep. Fertigstellen. Und damit hoffe ich, dass das soweit sich wieder fängt oder Schrägstrich gefangen hat, weil das ist etwas, wo ich nicht wirklich einen Grund sehe, warum ich das haben wollen sollen würde. Was ist eigentlich Voice Control genau? Das ist jetzt auch irgendwie neu aufgetaucht. Was ist warum ist das jetzt irgendwie dabei? Warum soll ich das wollen? Das ist... Ey, dann machst du einmal ein Update von einem Programm und dann wird so eine Scheiße reingeballert. Das ist unfassbar. Es ist wirklich... völlig unnötig. Meiner Meinung nach. Überhaupt nicht notwendig. Wieso habe ich hier Takes 2 zweimal? Egal. Wo haben wir es denn? Finde ich gar nicht. Da finde ich jetzt gerade auch nirgends. Hier. Nein. Nein. Okay. Das tut mir jetzt gerade leid, dass es hier gerade so Probleme quasi gibt, könnte man sagen. Aber das sind Sachen, die sich gerade glücklicherweise, könnte man sagen, was ist glücklicher, unglücklicherweise. So, jetzt ist das nämlich auch weg. Dann habe ich das hier nämlich auch nicht mehr drin, weil das war auch wieder komplett unnötiges Programm-Scheißzeugs. Manchmal ist halt... viele sagen Windows installiert gerne irgendwelche Scheiße oder so ein Rotz, aber das, ganz ehrlich, Windows nicht alleine. Das kann ich euch sagen. So, jetzt können wir aber dann hier mal loslegen, hoffe ich doch. So, Tag 15. Du kommst nach einem langen Arbeitstag nach Hause und findest in der Küche eine Nachricht. Du erkennst Sams eilige Handschrift. Chris' Wohnung wurde wegen unbezahlter Miete zwangsgeräumt. Du weißt, wie das enden wird. Sam ist losgefahren, um Chris' Sachen von der Straße zu holen. Warte nicht auf mich. Doppelt unterstrichen. Das ist also deine Schuld. Mürrisch starrst du den billigen Horrorfilm, den ihr euch gemeinsam ansehen wolltet. startest du den billigen Horrorfilm, den ihr euch gemeinsam ansehen wolltet. Als Kind hat er dir schreckliche Angst angejagt, aber jetzt müsst ihr beide jedes Mal darüber lachen. Ohne Sam ist es nicht dasselbe, aber immerhin musst du ab und zu leise kichern. Gerade als du zum besten Teil kommst, dem Teil, wo Candy beschließt, alleine Nachforschung anzustellen, wirst du von dem 14-jährigen Sohn unterbrochen. Er möchte einen Freund besuchen. Er schaut dich an, wie es nur ein Kind kann. Flehend und zugleich trotzig. Du erlaubst es ihm, solange er verspricht, um 11 Uhr wieder zu Hause zu sein. Du sagst Nein zu Charlie, er weiß, dass er an einem Wochentag nicht zu spät weg darf. Ein 14-Jähriger? Nee, so spät nicht mehr. Charlies Stimme wird immer lauter, als ihm bewusst wird, dass du deine Meinung nicht ändern wirst. Du behauptest, es wäre zu meinem Besten, aber in Wirklichkeit willst du nur deine Ruhe haben. Ich hasse dich, verdammte Scheiße. Er zögert, er weiß, dass er zu weit gegangen ist. Aber in seinem Zorn kann er sich nicht einbremsen. Bevor du ein Wort sagen kannst, stimmt er die Treppe hoch und knallt deine Tür zu. Du beschließt ihm etwas Freiraum zu geben. Ihr müsst beide erstmal runterkommen. Bevor du zu Bett gehst, ziehst du nach deinem Sohn. Du klopfst an die Tür und als niemand antwortet, öffnest du sie leise. Dein Sohn hat sich hinter der Bettdecke verkrochen und schmollt. Er starrt stur die Wand an. Aber als ihm klar wird, dass du nicht gehen wirst, bevor er mit dir spricht, wendet er sich seufzend zu dir. Er muss lernen, sein Temperament zu zügeln. Widerwillig entschuldigt er sich für seinen Ausbruch und nachdem ihr einen Tisch gemacht habt, könnt ihr beide ruhiger schlafen. Das sind eine Menge Tage. Ein angespannter Weihnachtsabend. Beim Anblick des Tisches kannst du dir ein Lächeln nicht verkneifen. Draußen auf dem Gras liegt der erste Schnee. Die Kinder ziehen an einem Weihnachtscracker, während deiner besagten Mutter langsam die Augen zufallen. Betagten Mutter. Du hast schon immer eine Schwäche für Weihnachten. Jetzt sitzt du am Kopf des Tisches auf dem Platz deines Vaters. Die Stimmung war den ganzen Nachmittag lang angespannt. Alle spüren es. Es ist euer erstes Zusammentreffen mit Chris, seit du dich geweigert hast, deinen Reisepass aufzugeben. Eine große Veränderung für Sam. Bisher waren die beiden Geschwister immer unzertrennlich. Weihnachten ist normalerweise eine so schöne Zeit. Nur das Klappern des Bestecks ist zu hören, während Chris dich vielsagend anstarrt. Genießt du das Weihnachtsfest, Großmutter? Deine Mutter richtet ihren leeren, verwirrten Blick auf dich. Plötzlich fährt sie hoch und kommt zu sich. Ja, danke, Alex. Ganz wunderbar, murmelt sie. Das passiert in letzter Zeit immer häufiger. Nur das Klappern des Bestecks ist zu hören, während Chris dich vielsagend anstarrt. Du sprichst einen Toast aus. Du stehst auf und erhebst dein Glas. Frohe Weihnachten, ihr Lieben. Ich bin froh, dass wir alle hier sind. Alle murmeln einen Prost und stoßen klirrend ihre Gläser aneinander. Chris bleibt regungslos sitzen. Ja, wir sind alle hier. Das verdanken wir dir. Sam seufzt wieder. Chris, jetzt sag's doch mal, heute ist Weihnachten. Können wir nicht endlich mit dieser Sache abschließen? Mit dir rede ich nicht? Okay, what? Sam hat recht. Lass uns doch einfach den Abend genießen. Chris wendet sich von dir ab und lässt den angestauten Frust an einem billigen Stück Brathähnchen aus. Deine Tochter Susi nutzt die Gelegenheit, um dich mit einer Frage in die Enge zu treiben. Du hast mich doch lieb, oder? Du lachst leise. Das kommt dir bekannt vor. Das kommt sicher nichts Gutes, oder? Susi verdreht die Augen. Du weißt doch, dass meine Freunde und ich heuer eine Reise planen, beginnt Susi unschuldig. Also ich hatte gehofft, dass ihr mir da finanziell unter die Arme greifen könnt. Susi wird von Chris höhnischem Grunzen unterbrochen. Ich würde nicht darauf wetten, Susi. Alex ist nicht gerade für Großzügigkeit bekannt. Stimmt's, Alex? Alter. Ist der Typ so fucking nachtragend? Wenn ich meinen Reisepass weggebe, ist das fucking gesetzeswidrig. Den Scheiß mache ich halt einfach nicht. Wir ignorieren ihn einfach und hören unserer Tochter zu. Wir werden so viel von der Welt sehen und so viele andere Kulturen kennenlernen, schwärmt Susi. Du seufzt und senkst die Stimme. Du weißt ja, im Moment ist es finanziell schwierig, seit Großmutter hier wohnt. Wir haben einfach nicht so viel Spielraum, Susi. Bitte, Harriets Eltern helfen ihr auch. Tut mir leid, ich wünsche, wir könnten es uns leisten. Können wir aber nicht. Na schön, einverstanden, wir finden schon eine Lösung. Sam meldet sich zu Wort. Entschuldigung, wolltest du mich nach meiner Meinung fragen oder wolltest du einfach weiterhin so tun, als wäre ich gar nicht da? Du spürst, wie du rot anläufst und wendest dich ab, damit Chris es nicht sieht. Du weißt, dass du in letzter Zeit nicht sehr aufmerksam warst, aber dieser Rüffel scheint übertrieben. Sam atmet tief durch und schlägt einen freundlichen Ton an. Aber du hast Glück. Ich stimme zu. Das ist eine tolle Gelegenheit und ich bin sicher, wir werden das Geld irgendwie auftreiben. Charlie verlässt peinlich berührt den Raum, während du mit dem Albtraum der Teller beginnst. Hattest du einen schönen Geburtstag, Pat? Fragt deine Mutter gut gelaunt. Fröhliche, verfickte Weihnachten. Merry fucking Christmas. Aktuelles Vermögen, bettelarm. Nun. Aktuelles Vermögen, was ist Geld? Ein unverhoffter Gewinn. Tag 63, ein unverhoffter Gewinn. Du siehst den Poststapel durch, der sich angesammelt hat. Bei jeder neuen Rechnung zieht sich dein Bauch krampfhaft zusammen. Du hältst inne, als du etwas Blaues aufblitzen siehst. Auf einem Umschlag erkennst du das Logo von Advance und reißt ihn auf. Liebe Familie Winston, vielen Dank für die Zusendung Ihrer Reisepässe zur Bewilligung. Wir bestätigen deren Erhalt und Gültigkeit für das neue Kapital- und Vermögensumverteilungsprogramm. Das wird hoffentlich den ständigen Streit mit Sam im letzten Monat aufwiegen. Wir freuen uns, Ihnen hiermit einen Scheck zu übermitteln, nicht nur als Symbol unserer Dankbarkeit Ihnen gegenüber, sondern auch als Symbol unseres unerschütterlichen Engagements für die Schaffung einer Gesellschaft, die frei von Ungleichheit ist. Nur das Pulsieren des kleinen Schnitts, den du dir in der Eile am Finger zugezogen hast, beweist dir, dass du nicht träumst. Ein Scheck, noch dazu mit einer nicht unbeträchtlichen Summe. Chris hatte recht. Advance ist wirklich dabei, den Wohlstand umzuverteilen. Wir werden weiterhin unbeirrt nach mehr Wohlstand für unsere Nation und unsere Volk streben. Gemeinsam vorwärts. Julia, Salisbury und Peter Clement. Der finanzielle Druck, unter dem ihr steht, lässt ein wenig nach. Ein herrliches Gefühl. Aktuelles Vermögen steigt. Wohlhabend. Haben ein ungutes Gefühl dabei. Ehrlich, zugegeben. Tag 72, ein langes Wochenende. Warum muss der Reißverschluss in diesem Koffer nur so klemmen? Heute ist euer Jahrestag. Sam und du fahren wie jedes Jahr übers Wochenende weg. Üblicherweise zum Campen. Das Geld wächst schließlich nicht auf Bäumen. Du freust dich schon lange darauf. Endlich etwas Zeit zu zweit, abseits des Lärms des Alltags. Keine Kinder, keine Arbeit, nur Ruhe und Frieden und ein bisschen Romantik. Endlich gibt der Reißverschluss nach und du kannst den prallen Koffer die Treppe hinunterzerren. Auf dem Tisch im Korridor blinkt der Anrufbeantworter. Guten Abend, Alex. Hier ist Mr. Boseman. Ich rufe an, um Ihnen mitzuteilen, dass Sie an diesem Wochenende bei der Arbeit benötigt werden. Deine Laune ist wie weggeblasen. Es sind neue Informationen bezüglich der wachsenden Spannungen zwischen unserer Nation und ausländischen Kräften ans Licht gekommen. Daher wird das Team der National Nightly News rund um die Uhr arbeiten, um sicherzustellen, dass wir als Erste mit der Story rauskommen. Es versteht sich von selbst, da Sie sich morgen früh an Ihrem Arbeitsplatz erwarten. Wirklich um 8 Uhr. Einen schönen Abend noch, Alex. Der erste Schreck verwandelt sich in Ärger und dann Zorn. Was wirst du Sam sagen? Dein Schatz kommt die Treppe herunter, strahlend vor Aufregung. Sam gibt dir einen Kuss, schnappt sich die Autoschlüssel vom Tischchen und macht dich daran, euer Gepäck ins Auto zu laden. Ignoriere die Nachricht, du brauchst dieses Wochenende. Entschuldige dich vielmals bei deinem Schatz und sag, dass du wirklich arbeiten musst. Bosemans Wutanfälle sind legendär. Scheiß drauf, wir ignorieren die Nachricht. Nachricht gelöscht. Was war das? Fragt eine Stimme in deinem Rücken. Nichts Wichtiges, antwortest du und schlüpfst in deinen Mantel, während das Adrenalin durch deinen Körper rauscht. Du fasst Sam um die Hüfte und ziehst die Tür lautstark hinter euch zu. Du solltest eine kurze Auszeit genießen, am Montag wirst du ohnehin dafür bezahlen. Ja, dafür lassen wir es am Wochenende mal richtig knallen, würde ich sagen. Uns richtig gut gehen. Aktuelles Vermögen wird wohl sinken, ja, dachte ich mir. Auf. Was ist Geld? Nicht täglich besorgt. Na, immerhin. Eine unwillkommene Rückkehr. Als du am Montag bei der Arbeit erscheinst, strafen dich deine erschöpften Kollegen mit saurem Blick. Eine Nachricht wartet auf dich. Die untadelige Schrift ist blutrot. Ich bin sehr enttäuscht, Winston. War es das wert? Ein Zustimmungsformular. Ich kann nicht mehr richtig lesen. Dein Sohn Charlie blickt dir über die Schulter, während du liest. Strebst du nach immer mehr Leistung? Bist du ein aktives Mitglied des Teams? Liebst du es, die Früchte der Zusammenarbeit zu ernten? Schließ dich noch heute den Advanced-Tatmenschen an, gemeinsam vorwärts. Das klingt gar nicht nach dem Jugendclub, von dem er dir erzählt hat. Charlie nimmt dir den Flair aus der Hand und streckt dir ein Formular entgegen. Ich kann direkt von der Schule hingehen und Bens Schwester bringt uns danach nach Hause. Du musst also gar nichts tun. Oh, das gefällt mir gar nicht. Du unterschreibst das Zustimmungsformular, damit dein Sohn den Advanced-Tatmenschen beitreten kann. Tut mir leid, mein Freund, ich hatte das einfach nicht für den richtigen Ort für dich. Du reichst das Formular behutsam zurück. Was ist total unfair? Warum? Ich weiß, dass es dir jetzt so vorkommt, Charlie, aber du wirst das bald verstehen. Ja, mir gefällt das zumindest nicht. Ein kostenloses Ticket. Na, jemand von der Arbeit hat sie mir gegeben. Sie können nicht hingehen, erklärt Sam und hält dabei die 2 Tickets hoch. Du liest den fettgedruckten Titel. Alan James hat recht. Bewusstwerdung. Ich weiß nicht recht. Was meinst du? Sollen wir hingehen? Ich mag diesen Alan James Typen, ganz ehrlich gesagt. Ich mag ihn. Ich glaube halt wirklich, der Typ... Der weiß was. Gratis-Tickets sind Gratis-Tickets. Er ist eine Persönlichkeit und soll zumindest amüsant werden. Die Show ist unterhaltsam, aber bei weitem nicht so lustig wie erwartet. Er ist ein versierter Redner und irgendwas hinterlässt Eindruck bei dir. Als du spät abends noch wach im Bett liegst, während Sams Atem schon lange ruhig und gleichmäßig geht, wird dir mit einem Schlag klar, was es war. Das Publikum. Es hat nicht gelacht, es hat gebrüllt. Eine profitable Partnerschaft. Sag mal, darf ich denn eigentlich hier wieder Regie spielen? Als du nach einem besonderen langen Arbeitstag nach Hause kommst, findest du die Post fein säuberlich und stapel sortiert vor, wie Sam das in letzter Zeit immer macht. Das meiste davon ist der übliche Müll, aber ein Brief erregt deine Aufmerksamkeit. Darauf prangen das zunehmend vertraute Advance-Logo und die passenderweise in roten Lettern gedruckte Aufschrift dringend sofort beantworten. Du bringst das wohl am besten sofort hinter dich. Liebe Familie Winston, mit diesem Schreiben möchten wir Sie darüber informieren, dass die Advance-Regierung einen weiteren Schritt im Kampf für mehr Gleichheit gesetzt hat. Und zwar die Verstaatlichung der größten privaten Konzerne und die Verteilung von deren Ressourcen an die Bürger dieses großartigen Landes. Das Anleihen-Partnerschaftsprogramm stellt sicher, dass vom Volk generierte Wertschöpfung auch dem Volk zugutekommt. Du erinnerst dich nicht, im Manifest darüber gelesen zu haben. Jeder Haushalt wird Partner von 2 von 4 sorgfältig ausgewählten Einrichtungen, die von Advance für ihre durchgängig hohe Leistung und finanzielle Sicherheit gewährt wurden. Bitte beachten Sie, alle Ergebnisse basieren auf der öffentlichen Meinung und unterliegen keinerlei Garantie. Ach du Scheiße. Also bei mir klingeln hier sowas von die Alarmglocken. ADB, Auge des Betrachters AG, sei es Kosmetik, Kleidung oder Kultur, wir sehen die Schönheit in all unseren Kunden. Nils Deals GmbH, immer der beste Deal beim verrückten Neil. Genuss KG, ihr Genuss ist unser Geschäft, ob Sport, Reisen oder einfach persönliche Wohlfühlzeit, keine Freizeit ohne Genuss. Ja, nehmen wir die. Vielen Dank für Ihre Auswahl, bitte senden Sie das Formular im beigelegten Umschlag zurück. Sie erhalten in 3 bis 6 Arbeitsmonaten einen Bericht über Ihre Partnerschaft. Anscheinend kann selbst Advance den Sumpf der Behördenbürokratie nicht trockenlegen. Die Zukunft dieser Nation liegt in der Partnerschaft. Gemeinsam vorwärts. Och, das gefällt mir alles überhaupt so gar nicht. Tag 100 und 53. Dir geht deine Melodie nicht aus dem Kopf. Im Musikmodus kannst du nur die Songs abspielen. Geil. I've been living in a paradise. Man muss aber auch dazu sagen, das will ich mal kurz anmerken, so lustig dieses Spiel manchmal auch sein kann, weiß ich auch, dass das Spiel teilweise sehr ernst werden kann. Das spricht auch durchaus ernste Themen an. Not for broadcast. Tag 153, der Sturm. Na also, ich habe mal wieder Regie spielen. Erstmal. Untersuche deine Prostata, ist wichtig. Die Freunde des Schraubens. Wochenabo für Lesegenuss, in der jede Menge unerwartete Wendungen bietet. Okay. Vorstellung der radikal neuen Übergangszentren von Advance. Muss gespielt werden. Okay. Elegant neue Hautcreme mit dem schweinischen Etwas. Ja, ja, ist ja gut.
Good evening, Alex. It's Bozeman here, your boss. While you're powering up and getting the adverts loaded, I thought I should just tell you that we've had one of those public information films from the government, and it's mandatory that you play it. You still have a free choice for the other two, so read those tape labels carefully, but make sure you play the advance advert, preferably at the second break. Right, that's the lot. Have a great show. Total pimp. My God, that weather looks nasty.
Oh, how's it going with Steve?
Why are men such pricks?
That well, eh?
Apparently he has a complicated relationship with his faith.
No.
Sorry, are you saying he chose his imaginary friend in the sky over you?
I don't know why I talk to you.
You're probably just a really awful date.
10 seconds, everybody. Like I said, all of you.
Did your personality accidentally slip out?
Pricks. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Time for the National Nightly News with Jeremy Donaldson and
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. Our main stories tonight.
Uncooperative. A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight on thousands of buildings throughout the capital.
Tonight, in an exclusive live interview with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, I'll be asking what this mysterious symbol might mean.
After 3 months of record-breaking approval ratings, could this be the daring first move of a silent resistance movement? And what would that mean as we go into the future?
We shall overcome. Trapped in Dante's taint for more than a month now, doctors Ingrid Svorsborg and Horgensvoord and David Wong announced today that they're considering 2 possible options.
With 2 of the finest minds in science working together, hopes are still high for the eventual return of the team to dry land.
While both options are still on the table, support seems to be growing for a daring escape attempt. If a group of fungus experts can't fix the most advanced craft ever conceived by man, then who can?
Bearing their opinions, the formerly rich are fighting back with a naked protest.
Our very own Robin Short was on hand earlier today when this new protest group first presented themselves.
It might seem amusing to us, but clearly this formerly overprivileged section of our society is not adjusting well to the new future. It's often too easy to forget that not every citizen is thriving under advance.
Fallen angel? Notorious addict Johnny Handsleeve seems to have reached a new low in his battle with booze, as this recent picture reveals.
Johnny's star certainly lacks its former glow these days, with public concern over his mental and physical health growing at an alarming rate.
Let's hope that the team at the Gentle Touches Rehabilitation Centre can help Johnny get back to his former glory. Johnny's family have asked for privacy during this difficult time. We'll have reporters at the clinic around the clock, so you don't miss a thing.
Is this once celebrated role model about to become the bad boy of sports?
And radical ideas. In an attempt to put the Mr. Snugglehugs disaster behind them, Remington's Fist CEO Sophia Remington today announced a surprising
vergessen,
project
die Szene
that
zu
already
wechseln.
has the markets raising an eyebrow.
Known for taking risks and bold strategies, could the adventurous CEO be leading the business giant down a dark alley, or taking it to a new level of success?
The manufacturing giant promises that the Junior Employment Opportunity Scheme will not only increase employment but also productivity. But critics are speaking out against what they're calling child labour. The scheme is being marketed under the slogan, "Lots of little hands to make lots of little things."
With that exclusive Prime Ministerial interview coming up later.
And our very own Patrick Bannon coming to you live from the first annual Sports Board final.
You won't want to miss a second of tonight's National Nightly News.
Oh, was für ein guter Cut das doch war gerade von mir. Huch. Sehr gut.
First tonight, after the Christmas horror caused by Mr. Snugglehugs, we have an exclusive interview with one of the victims.
Poor 7-year-old Timmy Tadlock, like so many of those affected by the Christmas bloodbath, has spent the last 3 months undergoing a series of reconstructive facial surgeries.
Last week, joyfully, he spoke for the first time since the tragedy. Tonight, he talks to us.
Before we go to the interview, however, this station would like to issue a full and frank apology for any part we may have played in the tragedy. We should never have advertised Mr. Snugglehugs. Without our publicity, the sheer scale of this tragedy, and now upwards of 8,000 casualties, might have been averted.
On behalf of the Nightly News team, we're sorry.
In future, we will do better.
Now it's over to Robin Short at the Tadlock family home. Robin?
Thank you, Megan. I'm here with Mr. and Mrs. Tadlock and their 7-year-old son, Timothy. Thanks for spending time with us today.
Yes, well, I feel very lucky with spending any time with you at all. After what you lot did. Irresponsible. I mean, whose idea was this anyway?
It's all right. It wasn't your fault. As you can see, Megan, there's still a few open wounds here. I'll tread carefully. I'm going to speak to Timmy now. Hello, Timmy. Can you see me?
Mummy, who's that lady?
It's the lady from television, Timothy. She's going to ask you a few questions.
You be careful now, it upsets him to remember.
Don't worry, Mr. Tadlock. I wasn't the youngest ever editor of the Swinstead Middle School Inquirer for no reason. So, Timmy, can you tell us what happened to you? You had just unwrapped Mr. Snugglehugs, hadn't you? Was he under the tree?
Yes, I could smell him already. He smelled like love.
Ah, yes, that'll be the fur. It's scented with hoof.
I was so excited. I ran up to my room and gave him a big hug. He was so soft and warm, like our cat, before he got in the way of Daddy's Porsche.
And what did Mr. Snugglehugs say to you?
He blinked his real action eyes and said, "You're my very best friend." But I sure wish Mrs. Snugglehugs was here, and she can't be, for just $89.99. And then it's a general error. 41.
And is that when he burst into flames?
Careful.
And then he exploded.
Oh, look, I've asked you nicely.
And am I right in saying that one of his real action eyes is now permanently embedded in your cheek?
Yes. When I took him in at night, it glows through bandages. I know it's under there, staring at me.
Yeah, some of the other children have started calling him Timmy Three Eyes. And with his glasses, that's 5.
It's too many eyes, Robin.
And what's the last thing you remember before the darkness overtook you?
He looked at me with his one eye and laughed. Laughed as he burned.
It sounds very traumatic. Do you have nightmares?
All right, that's quite
Do you?
enough of
Timmy?
you two
Timmy?
coming in here with your camera, trying to make a buck out of our suffering. I won't have it.
Mr. Tadlock, just a couple more questions. Timmy, do you think you will ever be what we can call
No, you've had your
normal
questions.
again?
And now you've made him cry with all 3 of his eyes.
Calm down, you're excited.
Do you think your parents will ever really love you again?
Right, that's it. Enough. Come on,
Damn.
Oh, poster, your favourite poster.
water quickly. So there you have it, Megan. Just one of the many victims of an indescribable tragedy that has shaken our nation. Back to you.
Thank you, Robin. Harrowing stuff.
And many questions to be answered by Sophia Remington in the coming days and months, I'd wager. How will she turn this crisis around?
So, Jeremy, what are the warning signs a consumer should look out for when they're spotting a dangerous toy?
Well, Megan, experts advise to always check for the new Advanced mark, which guarantee a level of safety and quality.
Yeah, can we just get a close-up on camera 3 here? So if we take a look at this National Nightly News mug, you should see the mark just on the base of it there.
In the wake of the scandal, the government were praised for their swift response in bringing in this set of stringent checks and new products.
It certainly is good to know that someone's watching out for our families. When we come back, our very own Patrick Bannon will be live from the Sports Board Finals. Stick around, you won't want to miss it.
We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back.
Oh, sorry, I'm bursting.
Oh boy.
She's very good.
Who?
Megan.
Yes, she is.
Watch your back, Jeremy. Women are coming.
I'm more worried about this water dripping onto my head.
Alex.
A plus. Ja, Mann.
Reports in that naked protesters might try and spoil the sports board final by waving their fleshy bits about. Try and make sure you don't broadcast it. It's 6 p.m. for God's sake. No one wants to see fannies on the news. Bozeman out.
Okay. Richtiges Sauwetter hier,
That's what it says.
Yes, I understand that, but I always say welcome back.
I think we should just keep it as it is.
Well, of course you do. I've got one hack line.
What's that supposed to mean? I didn't write it, Jeremy.
That's all right, fine. Jenny, there's something wrong with the auto cue.
10 seconds.
Oh, I just felt a drip again. Have they not fixed this?
Want to see us fry? It's good for the ratings.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Coming up later, we'll be speaking to the Prime Ministers about their exciting new healthcare facilities, transition centres.
Nice to see they care.
You're absolutely right, Jeremy. But first, we're going now to our own Patrick Bannon, who's reporting live from the finals of the new game that's gripping the nation, Sports Board. Patrick?
That's right, Megan. You join me live here from the final of the first annual Sports Board Championship. It's been a hotly contested competition so far. I think it's fair to say these two have been dancing around each other all season. First up, we have Ellie Stryker. She's the more experienced of our two players today. Stryker has got an accuracy of 7, a danger rating of K, and a 12-month driving ban. Stryker's known for her signature move, the Orangi Hamster. And facing her tonight, hoping to prove himself with a career record of 12 outs, 14 finishes, and a divorce pending, it's Mr. Wingspan himself, Tommy, the Fingernail Harris. Just waiting on the ref now. The slapping ceremony is taking part.
What the hell?
Still going on. Stryker, of course, first to start as she won the trivia round earlier on by some margin. Harris, perhaps the brawn and not the brains. Stupid. Eddie Stryker. Nice start there from Stryker. She's determined not to let the nerves show.
Ich hab's komplett vergeigt.
On to Mr. Harris now. Tommy. Using his arm to pick up the ball. Not a bad shot there from Harris. Back to Stryker for shot number 3. All right. She's gone to sort of throwing under her legs. Not bad if you ask me. Bit of business with the ref, but it got sorted out. Back to Harris now. A ball in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. I'd say that's fair, but what do I know? Oh no, and Harris is not going to be happy with that. So really not a good start there for Tommy Harris in round 1. We can only hope that round 2 treats him a bit better. But first, of course, after the argument with the ref section, it's time to change ends. Now we have the ceremonial changing of the ends. And of course now they go back to the starting positions, as that makes sense.
What the hell passiert hier gerade?
Striker giving it large. We're into round 2 now with Harris. Okay, we seem to have some sort of streak on the pitch. Apologise if we broadcast any of that stuff. She appears to have slogans across her breasts and arse. Try and ignore all of that. Security, I'm sure we're going to take them out as soon as possible. Apologise if we broadcast any of that. As I said, we're going to get the situation resolved as soon as possible. They're trying to carry on play, but it's proving a bit difficult, and I'm struggling to follow. Because it's quite an eyesore, and women's bodies, yeah. All right, great. Okay, so back into round 2 now, and Harry's absolutely determined to close that massive gap.
Ich hoffe, das war in Ordnung soweit.
Lady Striker. No, it's just some of the tightest play I've seen ever. Harris. And was that the fitted thumb screw? We haven't seen that since the heats. What a brilliant move. Back to Striker. And we know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. That is, of course, the ground sound.
Was zur Hölle passiert hier?
Excellent bit of play here on both sides of the bucket. I don't know about you at home, but I'm finding the technical mastering display here absolutely blooming jaw-dropping. The ref has spotted something in Harris's neck or head. And Harris is having an absolute shocker. What a miserable start there for Tommy Harris. But he is a late bloomer, of course. I've always said that. And after all, it is a game of
Was zur Hölle passiert hier gerade?
But now, of course, it's time for the half-time show. Sponsored by Remington's Fist. Must be some music here to start the half-time show. Okay, another posh protester loose on the court here. We can only apologise for that. We'll do our best to shield you from having to look directly at it. Is running around here with his genitals on display for all to see. And ruining what was shaping up to be quite a dance interlude there. Now he's thrusting himself in Harris's face. Security's on it. And the bucket's been knocked over! I cannot stand it when the bucket gets knocked over. Hopefully he'll get taken out now. Genitals flying around for all to see. Really, if you ask me, not Sunday morning television. And out of there, hopefully taken away, never to be seen again. And a lovely finish there on both sides of the bucket. I wouldn't like to call that one. And as we head into round 3, I'd love to know what's going on in these two players' heads. But unfortunately, because of science, we can't.
Alles klar, danke für die Info.
Not bad. So that ball boy's giving me the eye all day. What's going on there? Striker there, not a great start. She looks a bit flustered, I think, after all that swinging around. Back to Harris here. God, what I wouldn't give to be that ball. Am I right, ladies? Tommy Harris. And it dribbled down his arm, which is actually a really good move, because, of course, if it dribbles down his arm and goes on the floor, it's not going in the bucket. Back to Striker.
Ich verstehe überhaupt nicht, was hier gerade passiert.
And Striker's gone for the animal bonus there, but of course, perhaps... And yes, Harris has counted with a tiny bell. That is wonderful play. Of course, we've seen that before. Look at her face. She is absolutely gutted. What a mug. That could have been the clincher. What a massive shame. Harris to serve now. Harris, of course, undefeated by Kestrel in his last 4 battles. Here we go. Tommy Harris. That's all right. Not bad there. He threw it quite far away from him, which is quite a good idea. Very clever there. Perhaps a little contact. Caution from the referee, who's being, if you ask me, a little bit harsh. Ellie Striker. And she's let the nerves get to her. What the hell was that? You hate to see it, don't you? You cannot believe it. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, like, I mean, this is a mess now. I don't know what I'm doing about this. I mean, there's sort of breasts and genitals for all to see. I mean, there's only so much you can do. They're sort of everywhere, aren't they? I'll try and carry on. The players are trying to carry on, but of course it's difficult because these protesters, hopefully we can get them taken off soon so we can carry on with the match. What's going on here? Yes, yes. We want our money. Yes, very good. Take them away. bloody wasters. Absolute wasters. Oh, jog on! It's an absolute bloody...
Zur Hölle.
Okay, and now we're going to go into the final round. And of course, as it's a Tuesday, the final round is a mime round. Who could believe it? Nice imaginary shot there from Harris. It really could go in there at this point. Really high-level play here from two absolute juggernauts of the sport.
Es ist eine sehr interessante Sportart, würde ich mal sagen wollen.
About time, if you ask me. She's juggling it around from her hands. Interesting, juggling it around from her hands. And she's put it in her mouth like as if it was an egg. And now she's spat it out. She did the egg spit. So a wonderful move there. Quite late, Tom, from Striker. But she's in it to win it. On it like a car bonnet. Tommy Harris here, having a bit of beef. And he's peeling it as if it were a banana, which is an interesting move. Not sure if he hasn't had his potassium or what's going on today with Harris. And he's throwing it, and the banana was the ball! What a fantastic move there from Harris. Unfortunately, that is the end. What a pathetic, there we go, Jeremy, that is over. How can he look his 8-year-old son in the face tonight? What a lump. We just have to wait for the referee now to announce it to make sure it is all official. In, please.
And the winner of the first annual Sports Board Championship is...
Ja, ich kann auch nichts dafür.
Championship. I'm going to be celebrating tonight.
Was zur Hölle?
Another wonderful victory for me. Here come the on-site security to collect their medals. They're 6th and 7th respectively. And thanks again for watching the Sports Board Championships.
What the?
Looking forward to celebrating tonight. And all I always have to say, Jeremy, is back to you in the studio.
Patrick Bannon had an extraordinary final.
Historic sports board, Jeremy.
Well done, everybody, well done.
Yeah, I can wrench a doubler with the best of them, I'll have you know.
I certainly wouldn't bet against you.
When we come back, I'll be talking live with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, who apparently have a big announcement you wouldn't want to miss.
That's coming up after these messages.
1 minute back.
Fucking microphone shot me.
What?
Fucking microphone just shot me. Where's that sound guy?
Ich bin nicht der Sound Guy.
Everything okay?
Oh, the mics are just trying to kill us now, apparently.
You'll be fine. You're unshockable.
I'm immune to your cheap flattery.
I'm wearing you down.
Was war das gerade?
Again, just heard from the chaps in maintenance that this storm is causing the odd power surge, so your controls might be a bit dangerous. Now I know you're tough and you can take the odd shock for the sake of a perfect news broadcast, but too many in quick succession can stop the old ticker. I'm sure you'll make the right decisions.
So sorry about all the buckets.
Ach du
Seems to
Scheiße.
have sprung a leak. Well, several, actually.
You're gonna need a whole new lining up there. Triple C, that's your window.
We'll look into it.
It's so good to see you again.
Miss Wolf, your star seems to be in the ascendant.
It's a great time to be alive.
Too bloody right, Peter Clement.
Megan Wolf.
My, but that's a firm handshake you've got there.
She's tougher than she looks. Am I here?
Here, with Mr. Clement on your left.
Right you are, pet. Is your seat down?
10 seconds, everybody.
No, mine's fine.
Have you had a little accident?
Cheeky cow.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I am delighted to be joined by Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Welcome to the National Nightly News, Prime Ministers.
Oh, please, it's just Julia and Peter.
We don't believe much of
Alter, bin ich gerade erschrocken.
advanced.
We're delighted to be here.
Well, firstly, I should ask how you feel about the graffiti that's been springing up across the capital. Should we be worried?
Oh, no, you definitely shouldn't be worried.
Well, not unless you've got a fatal paint allergy anyway.
But yes, it does seem that there are still some people we haven't been able to help.
You know, whingers mostly.
People who've yet to benefit from the many advantages of the new future.
And you know, Megan, As my old mum used to say, there are some pissants who just don't know how to be happy.
We're working hard to reach these people, find out what they're angry about and how we can help. The door to my government is always open.
Someone's dripping on me.
But we didn't come here to talk about what may yet turn out to be some alternative arts project.
Which we no doubt will have funded.
When we want to talk to the nation about something far more exciting.
Yes, your office briefed us that you have an announcement to make, but they were being surprisingly secretive about it.
Let me ask you a question, Megan.
Oh, okay, it's not usually how it works, but...
What scares you?
Mann!
I mean, really scares you?
It's death, Pet. She's talking about death.
We're all afraid of our deaths. It's part of being human.
Sorry, are you saying that Advance have cured death?
That'll be a vote winner. Yep, that was definitely a drop there.
But while we may not have cured death, we hope we found a way to make it much less scary.
And much less painful and much less expensive. Look, which is me close-up camera,
Oh,
Pet?
sorry, it's camera 4 right there.
When I was 13, my mum came and got me from school. He had to go to the hospital. My granddad, he collapsed that morning, so we'd all to say our goodbyes. And I went in to see him. He were all frail and pale. I was scared because I'd only seen him the week before, and he'd been fit as fiddle. And he said to me, Peter, he said, it's the right time. I don't ever want to be a burden to the people I love.
Was that the last time you saw him?
Nope, 3 days later he were back home. He lived with us for 9 miserable years after that. He had to be fed with a rubber spoon. He had a commode, so he'd just take a shit right there in the lounge while we were watching football. He wouldn't even wait till half-time.
That sounds...
Oh, it was awful. It were awful for us, and this is the point. It were awful for him. He could see it was destroying me, man, watching him slowly fade away. And he would beg her to turn off his breathing equipment at night, but she couldn't. Or she wouldn't. It were a crime, you see. And she didn't want to lose the children, as well as her old man.
No family should have to suffer like Peter's did. And now no family will have to. The health service is today opening the first of 300 new transition centres.
The transition centres will handle everything for your last days. The legal, financial, medical and emotional costs are all catered for and paid for by the government. So even the poorest citizen gets to pass on with dignity when they choose.
And that choice is important. This is a service only for people who choose it. People who feel they run their course and don't want to burden themselves or their families with a slow, long, humiliating decline into an
This microphone package has given me an electric shock.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I think it's from my asshole.
Oh, we're still on the air, Peter.
Yes, sorry. My apologies. Oh.
Are you not worried that this new system might be open to abuse?
In what way?
Sorry, I've got sapped again. Can I get a little bit of help here, please?
That the older generation might feel somewhat...
That one was massive. Right, no.
Oh my god.
Sorry, the older generation might feel somewhat coerced.
Coerced into spending their final days eating gourmet food and drinking fine wine and luxury spas and gardens.
Look, I am perfectly capable of following my grandmother with a rook dick.
Prime Minister, please watch your language.
For God's sake.
Go get yourself sorted out.
Right.
We're launching a government information film tonight. It should tell your viewers everything they need to know.
You really do move at a pace.
Alter, come on.
You've yet to be in office a year.
Oh, Megan. We're only getting started.
And on that note, thank you both so much for being here. Jeremy.
Right, yes, that's all we have time for tonight. Thank yous go out to our guests. Congratulations to all the winners at the Sports Board Final. And we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. My name is Jeremy Donaldson. If you can, Have a peaceful night.
And we're out. Good job, everybody.
Da habe ich jetzt nochmal einen Stromschlag gekriegt.
So they just...
It seems so.
I don't suppose there's any way this could be a good thing.
It's for my nephew, so we transitioned the moment I stopped the leak.
Was ist denn jetzt passiert? Okay, einfach vorbei. Es war nur ein fucking Alter, was ist das auch für eine Scheiße mit dem Dreckswetter? Was ist das für eine billige TV-Station hier? Das ist ja schrecklich. Ja, absolute Vollkatastrophe ist das. Mehr kann ich einfach nicht sagen. Ein Scheißwetter war das. Das hier war wenigstens noch plus diese Kacke mit diesem Sportding, ey. What the hell war das denn? Alle Kraftausdrücke gewohnt sind. Ja, guck mal, das ist doch... Ah, Mann. Du erhältst ein voller Lohn. Immerhin habe ich meinen vollen Lohn gekriegt. Mehr kann ich nicht wollen. Boah, was eine Katastrophe mit dem Unwetter. Oh. Absolute Katastrophe war das. I've been living in a paradise. I've been living in a paradise. Tag, Fragezeichen, der Lockdown.
Alex, oh thank God you're alive. It's Jenny, the floor manager. Are you okay? Alex, you need to get it together. Look at the broadcast screen. Just look at it. That's all we've been putting out since you went down. You have to fix it, now. Look left, Alex, out the window. See? They're all over it, little bastards. You're going to need a full charge to clear that many off. Hold down the big button until it's fully charged. Then release it to zap the little fuckers.
What the fuck? What the actual absolute the fuck? Verpisst euch von meiner Antenne, ihr Schweine!
Excellent, Alex. We're broadcasting again. They must have built up while you were napping. Usually it only takes a tap on the button to clear one. Look, there's a lone one climbing now. Zap it off before it starts to mess up the signal again. Great. That seems to be the last of them. For now. Right. We're about a minute out. Get the adverts loaded up. I've got to deal with my pet idiot. And Alex, keep your ears open. You'll hear them climbing up the tower. Don't let them build up.
We'll be going live to the National Nightly News. But before that, let's take a look at what's coming up later on.
This has no credibility, Jenny.
On Channel 1 at 7 o'clock.
No professionalism.
What's wrong with this picture? And
It's not a mess. Everything is where it should be. It's ramshackle and characterful, and I'd expect you to know the difference.
That's followed at 8 p.m. by a
Of course Megan's place looked lovely, but I can't see it, can I?
Thanks, Jenny. How's lock-in with the boyfriend going?
outside.
Decided to take his chances on the wild streets, eh? Rather than endure another romantic comedy.
Electric Fever Dream, starring Lauren Catch as Helen.
Jeremy, Jenny says your hair looks stupid.
Yes, I can hear her.
To 11:15.
She says she's not talking to you.
Yes, I know, I can hear her.
Shall I count us in?
Make it so.
Okay, 10 seconds.
Sieht doch gut aus.
Break a leg, everyone.
Preferably a furry one.
Ich kenne Leute, die sehen weiter schlimmer aus.
3.
It's time to join Jeremy Donaldson for the
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. Our main stories tonight.
Snugglefuck? It's been almost 5 weeks since all the Mrs. Snugglehug's toys woke up simultaneously in factories worldwide and began searching for their husbands. The Mr. Snugglehugs we had so short-sightedly destroyed. And now, as this photograph suggests, they may be changing tactics.
Built to surprisingly traditional gender stereotypes, the Mrs. Snugglehugs have been arming themselves with a variety of household implements. All the more reason to make sure that cat flap is taped up good and tight.
This frightening new development means that even those previously thought to be relatively safe, like the young and fit, must take care to watch their backs and keep their ears open for the soft steps of sinister feet.
Going stir crazy?
With no signs of Mrs. Snugglehug's batteries running out, and the government lockdown now in its 31st day, domestic relationships across the country are taking some unexpected turns.
Dramatic reports are beginning to emerge of uncharacteristically bold behaviour in homes across the country. And we're not talking about the model planes that occupy so much time in the Donaldson household.
In response to a nationwide lack of toilet paper, which was, of course, raided by the Mrs. Snugglehugs to construct their vast hives, many of the nation's adults have turned to a more childish solution, or at least that's their excuse.
Locked and loaded, Shin Calligraphy Johnny Handsleeves seems to be taking his own unique approach to being locked in.
Since checking into rehab, not much has been heard from the former role model, but this latest photo leaked by another resident today seems to confirm that all might not be well at Gentle Touches.
It seems that paranoia may have overtaken the residents of the infamous rehab clinic, which this morning declared itself an independent state, claiming it had more than enough sponges to last till next Christmas.
The shape of things to come? In their own version of a lockdown for more than 45 years now, the descendants of Doctors David Wong and Ingrid Svorsborgen-Horgensvoord and their unfortunate team today managed to get a personal statement to the surface using flagellized imaging equipment.
Many of the Svorsborgen-Horgensbrood, as they've come to be known, have certainly captured the public imagination, with a recent vote naming Helvetica Svorsborgen-Wongensvoord
Vergessen den Bild zu wechseln.
Greetings from Dante's Tate. Or as we say down here in the family, many mushrooms to you. I don't know what a Mrs. Pluckless Pug is, but they sound like they're causing you guys real problems. We've been trapped down here for 8,961 days now, and all I can say is I sure am glad Mum and Dad chose not to get on that escape craft.
Ich glaube, das war das Falsche, was ich ausgewählt habe. Und hallo Teron, ja.
Sometimes Mum stops crying for upwards of 20 minutes. Also, it turns out, at first, you can eat flowers. If you can handle the stomach cramps and the amnesia.
Wie geht's?
Greetings from Dante's Taint, or as we say down here in the family, many mushrooms to you.
It's hard to believe they've been down.
Runter vor meinem scheiß Sendeturm, ihr Schweine!
Time moves differently, Jeremy. That's why goldfish are so stupid.
That's right. And as anyone will tell you, the deeper the bowl,
the thicker the goldfish.
There's no denying the logic of that.
Class war. A worrying turn today for the formerly rich as ever more punishing measures are announced, Alex.
With the country becoming ever more hostile to the previously wealthy, those who managed to skip the country must be very grateful to the people who help them right now.
We have it from several sources that rich runaways have actually begun to spontaneously lose their teeth one by one. Is it some sort of cosmic justice, or has masked vigilante Dental Dennis been onto his old tricks again? It's both, Jeremy.
And Advance speaks out, with the snuggle struggle proving a test to governments around the world. Advance HQ released a curious statement this afternoon.
In the accompanying release, they asked us to stress that they have been listening, and that this should be taken as a response to how the people really feel.
We've certainly done our bit on this show to contribute to the political climate. But let's not forget, how we behave in our home lives is what really matters.
Let's hope it's not just me who filled out that questionnaire, Jeremy, or we're all in trouble.
Let's play that statement.
Good evening. In these difficult
Alter, geht ihr mir auf den Sack da draußen? Verpisst euch, ihr scheiß Kuschelmördertiere.
And for a short time we must bear significant change. To help myself come to terms with these
Scheiß Killerplüsch-Apokalypse da draußen. Ich hätte die Werbung von denen niemals abspielen sollen.
I thought it would be helpful to share my list with all of you. Christmas with the in-laws. Your child's school play. Youth. Beauty. That phase you still don't talk about. Your New Year's resolution. Your husband's hairline. Your waistline. Your term in office. Your fleeting lifetime. And all of human endeavour. I hope my relatable list has allowed you to find reassurance, to know that just as these things pass us by, so too will this crisis. Together we will endure, as we always have. Thank you.
Ridiculous stuff.
Later tonight, Jeremy will be probing heartthrob reporter Patrick Bannon, while I take a deep dive into some controversial opinions with two familiar faces.
And then, in our third segment, and presumably because our editor is also working from home, there's going to be a bloody quiz.
I can't wait.
Don't do that.
And in a moment, Jeremy Grumpelson and I will be asking controversial CEO Sophia Remington where it all went wrong.
And psychic scientist Dr. Delia Lywell will be joining us, presumably to provide a bit of false hope.
Maybe she'll tell you how you're going to die, Jeremy.
Too late. I'm certain it happened months ago.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
Alter. Verpisst euch!
First tonight, how do we get here? Where are we going? And most importantly, who's to blame?
Joining us from her villa on the island of San Palmerino is CEO and socialite Sophia Remington.
Thank you for having me, Megan. I am loving your hairdo, babe.
And from her crystal heating laboratory in what I assume is a garage in Lower Uppington, Doctor, it says here, Delia Lywell.
Thank you for inviting us on your show.
Us?
Don't. Miss Remington, your toys are rampaging across the developed world, your company is worth less than my annual salary, and your country's president recently called you a national disgrace. Have you taken your eye off the ball?
Oh, honey, you're so cute when you're angry. The thing with you folks over there is you have an island mentality. You can't see the bigger picture.
So, what is the bigger picture?
The bigger picture is lithium batteries. Our toys have been running for upwards of 71 days now with no signs of them slowing down whatsoever. Imagine what that means for the future.
It means we don't know when the hell this lockdown's going to end, doesn't it? You don't seriously believe Remington's fist can survive this?
Lithium batteries are gonna change everything, tiny ogre. They're gonna power our new transport system, make technology portable. Hell, they might even take us into space.
But how can you make them with everyone at home?
Oh, don't you worry about that. Thanks to the work of thousands of tiny hands, they're already pouring off the production line. Times are good for Remington's fist.
But surely you have no future.
Excuse me, hello, yes, if we might. This is our area of expertise.
What, multinational economics?
The future, Mr. Donaldson, to which we are all connected.
Yeah, okay, I'll bite. Why not? There's clearly nothing better to do. So, what does your scientific process tell you about the future of Sophia Remington, Doctor?
We see her on a balcony. Foreign soil, but not foreign land. An age will pass.
Fascinating.
Wasn't it just?
Delia, you are amazing. We have to fly you out here to the island to do that for my dad. We're gonna love you.
Unfortunately, all flights are grounded because of your tiny, deadly stowaways.
Not all flights, honey. Dee, call me. And you, Maggie. The more the merrier. Bring your swimwear.
Miss Remington, you seem completely ignorant to the seriousness of the situation. Do you take any responsibility at all for the global crisis?
Careful! It's a trap.
It's not a trap. Why are you helping her?
She seems fun.
You bet your ass I'm fun.
Please answer my question, Miss Remington.
Listen, are lithium batteries the most incredible invention the world has ever seen? Probably yes. But, in fact, who am I kidding? It is definitely yes. But will they last forever? One day, all the Mrs. Snugglehugs will just stop. It'll be like a miracle. And then we can all go back to the grand tradition of buying products again. Because I really don't mind telling you this. It is really except for sponges.
Oops.
Seem to be selling an assload of them.
Dr. Lywell, do you have an indication of when or how this might end?
Well, it's not an exact science.
Not even a real one.
But our senses tell us that there will come a day when there will be clouds in the sky, the grass will be rich and verdant, and the birds will sing at dawn, and that shall be the day when we walk forth again.
I find that strangely comforting.
That could literally be any day.
Well, let's hope it's soon.
Clouds, grass, and birds. That's literally every day.
Let's hope it's not too soon. I'm kind of hoping we can make it to the 100 days. It sounds good enough. Besides, if it lifts now, the children will have to go back to working normal hours.
Well, let us ask the eminent professors for 100 then.
No, let's not.
Warte, was? Kinderarbeit?
I'll drink to that. Stay strong and party on.
Sophia Rimington, Dr. Delia Lywell, thank you for joining us.
Oh, das wird nicht
When we
gut.
come back, we'll be reaching out around the country to see what's really happening out there.
Don't go away. We'll be back after these sandwiches.
Well, she's a Hindenburg-sized fuck-up.
I mean, she's fun at a social level.
I wouldn't want to be on her board.
Christ, no. She's going to drive that company into the fucking ground.
Immerhin noch einen A+ gekriegt. Ey, scheiß auf Elektriker, wir brauchen... Die sollten ja fucking Militär hierher und diese scheiß Antenne bewacht. Statt Elektriker. Die...
Yeah, well, it's been a long time coming.
Naja, schon wieder. Ja, das verspricht vielversprechend zu werden.
He must know, he's not stupid.
Alan James, ich liebe den Typen. Runter von meiner scheiß Senderantenne!
Hey, no, Jenny. You're not backing out on me now. We're in this together. It's gonna work. We'll get him. I've made the cake. You're on the balloons.
Fucking Apokalypse ist das hier.
40, 17. Yeah, ready. Okay, coming back. In 5, 4, 3. Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Ruth. Now it's time to take a trip around the country to hear how the lockdown might impact the nation from some friendly faces. Joining me are respected academic Katie Brightman and author of Alan James's Kites, Alan James. Thank you for joining me.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me, Megan.
Thanks, Megan. It really is a pleasure, Katie. I enjoyed our little heated encounter.
I wish I could say the same.
So first off, Katie, how are you coping?
I'm holding up okay. The lockdown directive was so sudden that, like many people, I haven't been able to get home.
Oh no, what happened?
I was staying at a hotel after an international college convention, and we had a particularly heavy night out. You know what economists are like.
Notoriously hate splitting the bill.
And I overslept, and as you can imagine, I've been here ever since. But there are certainly people much worse off than me.
Exactly. My tour has been cancelled indefinitely, and I've had to refund every single ticket, even the cheap seats.
Oh, Alan, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. People are being quite rude about it. They don't seem to realise you've already invested filling the beach house with beef.
The crisis claims yet another victim.
So, this is just a reminder that my book, Alan James's Reich, is now available in paperback.
Unbelievable.
What was that?
You're unbelievable.
So, Katie, how do you think this might affect the economy? Should we be worried?
Very, Megan. Not to sound dramatic, but this could be catastrophic. Unemployment has skyrocketed, and frankly, it will be a miracle if a lot of businesses can survive this.
There you go, scaremongering again, spreading this latest liberal hoax. That's what they want. They want us quiet. They want us compliant. And they want us inside.
A hoax? How on earth can you say that, Alan?
Well, I haven't actually seen one of these supposed toys. Have you?
Well, no, but...
Did you know 3,000 people die every year from regular toys? That's a lot of people.
Okay, I see what they do there. Ich sehe, was die da gerade machen.
He makes an excellent and persuasive point, Katie.
Don't listen to her, Katie. The press are the enemy of truth.
She's agreeing with you, Alan, you absolute shit.
Well, then I must be wrong.
Alan, are you now recanting your statement that these toys aren't dangerous?
People are saying they're just like normal toys, and that simply isn't true. Corrupt.
Das ist quasi der fucking Virus und hier Spielsachen.
To Alan's claims that Mrs.
Ich meine, das war vorher schon klar zu sehen und so, aber
I guess I'm agreeing with him.
Thank you, Katie. I appreciate
die gehen ja da richtig in die Vollen. Im Sinne von Nice, was ein geiles Sandwich!
Yes, right, exactly. We need decisive action from the government. We need huge financial support to protect our workers and our businesses. We need to support the vulnerable, and we need
to repent. Exactly right, Katie. We brought it on ourselves.
Runter!
All our liberal indulgences like art, cake, and healthcare. We need to act now and begin sacrificing our food
Alter.
or to put a beloved family pet.
Absolutely, Alan. If we can all successfully come together as a community and perform the ritual, hopefully we will appease the great ancient. Katie, could it be any worse?
Luckily, over the past few years under Advance, they've invested.
Ich krieg ihn gleich noch. Wenn er ein Sandwich speist, dann hatte ich die Kamera drauf.
Is it lucky that the Llama Lords have unleashed a horde of man-made monsters on its own people to conceal the enemy within?
Will you just stop for 5 fucking
Die
seconds?
sitzen ja zusammen.
Amassing an army to kidnap
That's you. That's what you sound like. That's you. That's what you sound like.
But I don't sound like that.
Yes, you do.
Die Musik dabei.
Yeah, stop lying, Alan.
Yes. Not lying. You are.
Oh, good one. Oh, good one.
Well, I'm telling.
Ist ja
I'll
gut.
be heading over to Jeremy, who is going to be bringing us an up-to-the-minute report of the status of the nation. Over to you, Jeremy.
Thank you for what I'm sure was a reasonable debate which really contributed to the national conversation. Next, out on the streets, someone who's always doing exactly that. It's Patrick Bannon. Are you there, Patrick?
Scheinbar nicht. Die Schweine. Verstimme den Leuten nicht.
Of the broadcast today. Couldn't find any cameramen or women brave enough to come and join me, so I'm out here on my own.
Right, and can you tell us what it's like out there?
Yep, I can. It's as you can see behind me, the streets are currently completely deserted. And my question, Jeremy, is just how long? I mean, could there be danger lurking just around the corner, waiting to end the legendary career of this young, promising journalist before his full potential is even realised? Will he die, underappreciated by management, and frankly, if you ask me, very, very much underpaid?
I don't think there's any danger of that, Patrick.
Genau, alle macht im
What's that
Sandwich.
on your jacket there?
Oh, that's actually a sponge. What I've done here is made a snuggle-proof jacket, Jeremy. The network didn't bother sending me any PPE, so I've been forced to improvise. In fact, showing the sort of resourcefulness that would make me an ideal candidate for, I don't know, for example, an anchor position starting whenever they'd like.
From your point of view,
Die
Patrick.
Quote steigt ja langsam
Just
wieder.
how safe are our streets?
Und trotzdem empört über die Gesellschaft. Das war sowieso gerade eine Kindergartenunterhaltung, die da hatten. Diese meh, du lügst, so hörst du dich an, meh.
And just where are you, Patrick?
Bring mir lieber an, wie er sein Sandwich versucht zu genießen.
Which street?
I think I'm struggling to hear you, actually, Jeremy, there.
Which street? Which street are you on?
Oh, which street am I on? Oh, God. I'm just looking for a sign. Bannon Avenue.
Bannon Avenue?
Yep.
Bannon Avenue.
Yeah, no, I can hear you fine. Yep, I'm on Bannon Avenue on the sign, it says there.
Like Patrick Bannon?
Oh, yeah, that is like, that's strange, that's a weird sign. I don't know what's going on there.
Where are you really?
I'm on
Zu Hause.
Alright, fine, I'm not on Bannon Avenue, I'm at home, to be honest. Alright, fine. Well, I'm in my bathroom, technically, but, you know, I couldn't face it, to be honest, mate. It's, you know, it's terrible out there. I don't want to go outside. They're everywhere. I'm sorry for lying.
We don't expect any less of you, Patrick. We don't expect any less of you, Patrick.
Can you hear that sound? What the hell's that?
Oh nein!
I can, yes. I'm no expert.
Mr. Snufflebugs oder wie die Scheißdinger heißen sind bei ihm.
A tiny fist tapping on your door there.
Lauf!
Oh fuck, Jeremy, shit, no! Oh bollocks!
Perhaps there's a small queue of tiny fists, each wielding a different gendered household implement, ready to bash in the heads of lying little roving reporters.
But you're lying, aren't you? Oh shit! Fucking listen to me, you bastards! If you're out there, just piss off, you little fucking snuggle fuck! I'm too talented to die! Oh, too talented to die! What the fucking hell? Okay, it's fine.
Don't worry, Patrick. I'd say you've got a few seconds before they break their way in there and finish you off. What do you see, Patrick?
Oh nein! Wir werden ihn töten! Ich muss draufhalten!
Thank you,
Schade.
Patrick, for that report, showing the nation, and more importantly, management, just where you belong. It's time for another break, but when we come back, we'll be happy to take your mind off the world for a little while, and who knows, maybe even bring you a few smiles. Join us after this. You're damn right. Yeah, I had them delivered. Yes.
Ich glaube, der ist tot.
Avenue.
F für depressiver Mann in Unterhose in der Dusche, wie du gesagt hast. Das ist sehr spontan, sehr sympathisches Telefongespräch. Oh, die Sonne lacht! What the fuck? Irgendwas stimmt hier nicht.
No, I'm not.
Ah!
I'm not going to. I don't have to. No, you're being a child.
Wie das jetzt hier?
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. No.
Verpiss dich!
4, 3. Welcome back to the national.
Ich hab noch eine Hose an.
Well, welcome back anyway. We know isolation isn't easy, so finally tonight we have something a bit different.
Auch ein fucking Militär, das mich beschützt.
But it's not our job to entertain the public with absolute nonsense. Other, more important people overrule those people. So it's time to find out who will national nightly win and who will national nightly lose. So, how do we play? Well, joining me is a man who knows all about playing. It's Tommy.
Das Fenster ist ja kaputt.
Hello, Tommy.
Ah! Gott, bin ich gerade erschrocken. Entschuldigung. Ich hatte einen Teddybär angesprungen. Geh weg! Oh!
Yeah, I think I heard about that actually, yeah.
You're in bed, Tommy?
Yeah, you called during nap time, so...
Of course, that's my fault. So, why don't you tell us how the game is played?
Well, it's pretty simple, Jeremy, you sausage. I'm gonna ask contestants from around the territory 3 questions about what else, yours truly. And those people are gonna get a chance to win a very special prize.
And what are they playing for, Tommy?
Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. Jeremy.
Oh.
Jeremy. Thank you.
Me. What is that? I do.
Ah!
What is that?
It's my athletic support, Jeremy.
Oh.
Wie soll ich mich damit noch konzentrieren, wenn ich hier über mit meinem Überleben kämpfen muss?
Once in a lifetime prize, Jimmy.
I believe we have Angie on the line. How do you feel about winning this man's old pants, Angie?
I've never been so excited, Jeremy. And can I just say, I love you. Both of you.
Well, you've said it now, haven't you?
Oh, Angie, I love you. In a way. Tell us about yourself, Angie.
What can I say? My name is Angie. Always has been. I'm a human woman, and my dental hygiene has been described as acceptable.
Brilliant! Right, well, shall we get this shambles underway?
Absolutely, Tom. Can I get 30 seconds on the clock, please?
We haven't got a clock.
Yeah, I did ask for a clock. So,
Well, why don't you start, and I'll stop you when it inevitably becomes unbearable to watch.
I love it. All right, here we go. Time starts now. Question 1. When is my birthday?
The 13th of August at 7:19 a.m.
That is absolutely correct. Question 2. What? I said, what is my favourite colour?
Crushed praline 4.
Correct, the colour of my nipples. And finally,
What the hell?
What is my star sign?
That's a trick question. You were born outside of the human understanding of the cosmos.
What?
Unbelievable, that is correct. Stop the clock.
Wow, that really was tough to watch. How did you do, Tommy?
Well, Angie, my love, you got every single question right. Which of course means you lose and win absolutely nothing. Thanks for playing, Angie. Bye. Do we have another contestant on the line at Jelly Bean?
We do indeed. We should have Sonia Artleach. Are you there, Sonia?
Of course I am, Jamie, darling.
Thank you for being here, Sonia.
Das Ding geht noch 11 Minuten, oh Gott.
Let me guess, you work in theatre, don't you?
Is it that obvious? What gave it away? Was it the glamour or poise?
It certainly wasn't your inherent sense of humility.
Tell us about yourself, Sonia.
Oh, well, if you must play this game. I am a theatrical agent. I represent the likes of Rudy Beefman, Samuel Coffeecup, and Jodie Carpetburn, amongst others.
And how's the lockdown affected you, Sonia?
Well, they may have closed the theatres, shut the studios, and boarded the cinemas, but they won't get me that easily.
How are you managing without any work?
Due to a savvy clause in all of my artist contracts, I am able to claim my 15% from their unemployment benefit.
Wow, that certainly is sharp.
Standard stuff, standard stuff.
And can I ask, where are you speaking to us from?
Well, I work from home, you know, to keep costs down.
And who's this?
Oh, well, you know, when they gave the order, I was actually mid-meeting with a client, so we've been isolated together.
No fucking way!
What the fucking fuck?
Is that Tommy Harris? I'm a huge fan. Can I just tell you how bloody brilliant you are?
Actually, Jeff, we're about to play a game, aren't we, Tommy?
We got time,
Well, if it's not too bold, I think I am in love with you, Mr. Harris.
No, it's not too bold. That's all right, don't worry.
Hey, I'd love to show you some of my stuff. I've been working on some new shit.
Well, at least you're already aware.
During lockdown, we've been workshopping some of Jeff's ideas for much younger children, haven't we?
People still let you near their children, do they?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I've been developing some shows for younger children.
Well, we'd love to see it, wouldn't we, Gerbil?
Absolutely dying to.
Right, so, what do kids love?
Timely child support payments from their absent fathers.
Shallow and overproduced musical numbers?
That's right. Animals! So, I'm trying to address the things that kids need to know, but through a medium that they'll understand. Do you understand?
I think, yes. I think so, yes.
Jeff's one of my best clients, aren't you?
I am, yeah. So, the first one we've been working on is called The King of the Jungle's Mortgage Repayments. It's about a lion who's having problems with his interest rates.
What?
I see. Does he have a broker?
He does, yes. He's a porcupine. How did you know that?
Well, your work is universal, darling. It speaks to people.
I'm going to say something to you, mate. I think you're onto something here.
Oh, the bear,
Oh,
huge
yes,
bear.
right. This one is much better. So, this one tells the tale of Mr. Bear. Now, Mr. Bear is a very sad bear, because all of the other bears don't think that he'll amount to much, and they tell him that his plays are lazy and derivative.
I think you're onto something there.
Now, Mr. Bear is a tragic figure. Picture this.
He's at his lowest ebb. The trees are closing in. He can't even face his salmon, can he? But then he meets someone that will change his life forever.
This is fucking gripping.
That's right. He meets a wise old octopus who takes him under his wing and says, "No, Mr. Bear, don't be sad. You're not like all the other bears. You have this ambition and these dreams."
Such fucking dreams.
I think I love you, Jeff.
And what you need to do, Mr. Bear, says the octopus, probably doing an 8-arms gesture or something.
What you need to do
Der hat auch keinen Bock mehr.
happiness in this crazy old forest is you need to set yourself more realistic goals. It's called Mr. Bear Lowers His Expectations.
Wow. You really have
What
taken
the
yourself to
hell?
your death. And what do you want children to take away from this?
Oh, fuck shit, fuck.
What?
I said a more realistic worldview.
Are you all right, Jamboree?
It's Jeffrey. My name is Jeffrey Donington.
No, stop. How does it end? We need to know how it ends.
Well, all the animals learn a thing or two about inevitable mediocrity.
And Mr. Bear settles down near to his parents' cave, stops trying to make his band happen, and he goes into bear telemarketing.
Becomes a bear maths teacher.
Oh, and we end... We end on a big musical number. Oh, there's dancing. It's very repetitive, so it's catchy but not too challenging. Well, if you like, I could go and get my boombox.
Yeah, you know, I might be able to... Hang on.
Oh God.
Get Angie back.
Why not? The more the merrier, as they say at orgies.
Oh Gott. Was zur Hölle passiert hier jetzt?
Right, I'll just fill then, shall I? Coming up in a moment, it's the world premiere that nobody saw coming.
Lights!
Or wanted.
The hell?
I can only apologise in advance for what we're all about to endure.
You turn this shitting thing up. Well, there's all sorts of creatures down on Dangly Farm.
Hat einfach keinen Bock, der Kerl.
Mr. Octopus with way too many arms. There's Mr. Pig and Mr. Cow. They're all and Mr. Cow. But that's cause they don't know they'll soon be sliced up.
Oh Gott, nein, es geht die Scheiße wieder los.
Mr. Bear, what's that over there?
Oh Gott.
That's where your hopes go to turn into despair. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your dreams go to die. Mr. Raccoon wants to go to the moon. He'll end up as a bus driver soon. Mr. Porcupine thinks he'll read the news at 9. He'll end up as a janitor who stinks of turpentine. Mr. Tiny Mouse thought he'd own a massive house. Ended up in a bedsit where he can't control the louse. Mr. Horse thought he'd go into professional sports. Now he's an alcoholic and he's on his third divorce. Mr. Bear,
Was zur Hölle?
over there? That's the place your life becomes an endless questionnaire. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your hopes go to die. Lower your expectations. Maybe you could get a job in telecommunications. No matter how you try, you'll never reach the League of Nations. The best you'll get is middle rank in trading operations. So lower your expectations. You'll never win an Oscar, so there's no congratulations. The future
Ich mag den Song irgendwie.
will not meet specifications, and no amount of visualizations will save you from your own deterioration. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's a tramp who thought he'd be a multi-millionaire. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where self-esteem goes to die. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's the disappointment that is waiting everywhere. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your schemes go to die. That's where your dreams go to die. That's where dreams go to die.
Thanks all for what I'm sure is bound to be a classic of children's.
Oh komm, warum man...
But now, let's see how it's really done.
What the hell passiert hier jetzt? Ey!
Before we wrap up the news tonight, I just wanted to spend a moment talking to you directly. A final thought, if you will, just for you, Alex. You see, I know you think it's gotten complicated back at the old homestead, but there's something you should know. You like to think you got the family rules, the feelings have cooled, and you're just ridiculed. You think you're even-handed, but there's nobody fooled. You clearly love your daughter more. You like to think you've got it under control, but if that was your goal, you better re-roll. Did you have a few too many at the watering hole? You clearly love your daughter more. Now Chris and Sam are broken.
What the fuck?
Too scared of the law. And Charlie's getting angry, locked behind his bedroom door. But Susie thinks you're perfect with that holiday abroad. And I've gotta say, you clearly love your daughter more. One more time for a peaceful night. Yeah, you clearly love your daughter more. And that's news.
That's all we have time for tonight on the National Nightly News. We'll be back tomorrow when Jeremy will be wrestling an alpaca and I'll be naked. I'm Megan Wolf.
Das will ich sehen.
Treacle night.
Auch wenn die gerade irgendwie über mich gesungen hat.
Oi, just give me that beer. I'm fucking famished.
What the hell?
The exclusive new collection. Subscribe today, and every week we'll send you a workplace accident you'll never forget. From the classic trip and fall to the unparalleled heights of gross negligence. This limited edition.
What is that piss? Do you think I'd be happy with that?
Could enjoy a disappointing pain.
You're out of your mind.
Of your pain and suffering. Also included is this crocodile tears on your
Alex.
Wake up, Alex, wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up, Alex. Wake up. Wake up.
The fuck? Ich bin verwirrt. The hell? Just happened? Hä? What? Tag 154. Ein böses Erwachen. Das rhythmische Piepsen des Herzüberwachungsgeräts bringt dich allmählich wieder zu Bewusstsein. Als du deine Augen öffnest, begrüßen dich ein Halbkreis von besorgten Gesichtern. Deine Familie, die an deiner Seite steht, in dieser neuen Umgebung, ein beruhigender, vertrauter Anblick. Du blinzelst einige Male, um den Schlaf aus deinen Augen zu vertreiben und alles ins rechte Licht zu rücken. Du spürst eine Hand auf deinem behutsamen... Du spürst eine Hand auf deinen Behutsam, aber beruhigend. Sam, wie immer bei dir. Verständlicherweise besorgt, aber irgendwie liebevoller denn je. Daneben meldet sich Chris zu Wort. Siehst du, Alex geht's gut. Wir haben das Spiel umsonst versäumt. Du und Chris versteht euch immer noch nicht besonders gut und der verächtliche Ton ist kaum zu überhören. Du rufst dir ins Gedächtnis, dass es hier nicht um Chris geht, drückst Sams Hand und lächelst. Echt jetzt? Ich bin immer noch keine 5 Minuten wach und du benimmst dich schon wie ein Arschloch? Einfach lächeln und winken. Die Sorgenfalten auf Sams Stirn werden weniger. Gott weiß, dass ihr zwei schon genug Sorgen habt, ohne dass eure Gesundheit mitten in den Topf geworfen werden muss. Nach einem letzten Lächeln wendest du dich dem Rest deiner Familie zu. Als du Susis Abwesenheit spürst, fällt dir auf, dass Charlie unruhig herumzappelt und offensichtlich krampfhaft versucht, nicht besorgt zu wirken. Als du dich zu ihm umdrehst, erkennst du, wie Charlie sich verkrampft. Er hat offensichtlich schwer damit zu kämpfen, wütend auf dich zu bleiben. Du siehst ihn erwartungsvoll an, aber er weicht in deinem Blick aus. Hey, mir geht es gut, wir werden wieder streiten, noch bevor du drauf gefasst bist. Charlie schaut dich an und grinst. Es ist ein ansteckendes Lächeln, das sich im ganzen Raum ausbreitet. Es ist immer gut, wenn er in deiner Ecke steht. Dein Lächeln schwindet, als dir deine Mutter auffällt, die teilnahmlos aus dem Fenster starrt. Trotz all deiner größten Bemühungen geht es ihr in letzter Zeit nicht besonders gut. Geht's dir gut, Mama? Deine Mutter erschreckt. Dein Ruf hat sich sichtlich aus ihrem Tagesraum gerissen. Sie dreht sich zu dir um und lächelt. Du bist dankbar, die immer seltenere Anerkennung in ihren Augen zu sehen. Ja, mein Schatz, natürlich. Wie fühlst du dich? Du lächelst liebevoll und nix, aber bevor du zu einer Antwort ansetzen kannst, stürmt ein Arzt herein und führt alle hinaus. Sie fragt dich zum wahrscheinlich 100. Mal, wie du dich fühlst. Überraschend gut, wenn man bedenkt, was alles vorgefallen ist. Ausgezeichnet! Es gibt keine Hinweise auf echte Schäden. Nur einen kleinen Schock für das alte System. Das Wortspiel tut mir leid. Sie lächelt. Nicht, dass es empfehlenswert wäre, so etwas noch einmal zu wiederholen. Natürlich nicht. Nach ein paar Tagen Ruhen zu Hause sollte alles wieder in Ordnung sein. Sie dreht sich um, will gehen, bleibt aber an der Tür stehen. Oh, und das Privatzimmer in die Versorgung. Die Ärztin weist mit einer Geste durch das Zimmer, das, wie dir jetzt auffällt, ziemlich teuer aussieht. Wurde alles von einem Herrn Boseman bezahlt. Von ihm sind auch diese Blumen. Er sagt, es besteht kein Grund zur Sorge und der Rest der Woche ist arbeitsfrei. Am Montag geht es anscheinend wieder los. Ist scheinbar das Mindeste, was er tun kann. Ich habe das Gefühl, das wird mir zur Rechnung gestellt, dass mein Boss das Krankenhaus zahlt. Tag 180, eine zu tragende Bürde? Du kommst von einer besonders späten Schicht nach Hause und bemerkst, dass das Küchenlicht noch an ist. Das ist für gewöhnlich kein gutes Zeichen. Alle sind jetzt normalerweise schon im Bett. Leise öffnest du die Küchentür und siehst Sam am Tisch sitzen. Auf dem Tisch stapeln sich Rechnungen und Dokumente sowie eine Packung Kekse, offenbar schon die zweite. Dir wird ein verkrampftes Lächeln geschenkt, als du Platz nimmst. Sam runzelt die Stirn und vertieft sich wieder in eine Rechnung. Hallo mein Schatz, ich schaue mir gerade noch einmal die Zahlen an. Der Blick wandert zur Tür der Speisekammer, die inzwischen zum Schlafzimmer deiner Mutter umfunktioniert wurde. Wir haben wirklich unser Bestes gegeben, aber ich fürchte, dass Cassandra jetzt wirklich langsam eine Krankenschwester braucht, die sie versorgt. Plötzlich siehst du nur noch die Rechnungen. Zum Glück haben wir mit dem Geld, das hereinkommt, und unser Erspartes hinzugerechnet, mehr als genug, um über die Runden zu kommen. Da Susi zu Hause ist und mithilft, müsste die Krankenschwester ohnehin nur auf Teilzeitbasis arbeiten. Sam lächelt dich an. Ich weiß, dass es schwierig war und dass die tägliche Pflege nicht gerade billig sein wird, aber sie ist deine Mutter. Das müssen wir wirklich durchziehen, nicht wahr? Du lächelst dankbar zurück. Natürlich bezahlst du für die Pflege, die deine Mutter braucht. Deine Mutter schon lange nicht mehr sich selbst. Möglicherweise sollte man sie lieber eine andere Option in Erwägung ziehen. Das ist eine gute Frage. Quasi betreutes Wohnen oder sowas in der Art? Oder halt eben die Pflege selber bezahlen. Oder Option 3. Ja. Die Schrotflinte ist im Keller, so nach dem Motto. Ja, wobei, Schrotflinte nicht, aber, ne, einfach wie ein Unfall aussehen lassen oder sowas in der Art. I guess. Option 1 oder Option 2? Das ist jetzt hier die Frage. Ich sag's mal so. Noch haben wir das Geld scheinbar dafür. Die Betonung liegt halt eben auf noch. Ja, komm, fuck it. Das Damoklesschwert steckt zumindest vorerst in der Scheide. Also schnappst du dir die Papiere und verstaust sie in einer Schublade. Es ist eine gewaltige Erleichterung, sich nicht mehr um diese Angelegenheiten kümmern zu müssen. Das hast du zumindest zu Sam gesagt. Stunden später bist du immer noch wach. Du starrst an die Decke und denkst nach. Wie lange wird das Geld reichen? Genau das, was ich gesagt habe. Aktuelles Vermögen frisst manchmal. Kann sich Kaffee leisten. Immerhin können wir uns Kaffee leisten. Das ist ja schon mal etwas. Ein Brief nach Hause. Oh boy. Sam arbeitet heute Abend und Charlie übernachtet bei einem Freund. Das Haus gehörte dir allein. Ja, Mann, nackt durchs Haus rennen, nackt vor den Kühlschrank stellen und die Kühle des Kühlschrankes genießen, die Freiheit symbolisiert, während man einfach aus der Packung Milch trinkt. Scheiß auf ein Glas, nackt vor einem offenen Kühlschrank, Milch trinken ist einfach die Freiheit schlechthin. Du bestellst Essen bei einem Lieferservice, trinkst ein paar Gläser und machst es dir vor dem Fernseher gemütlich. Heute Abend kommt kein sonderlich guter Film, aber sicherlich etwas, das man anziehen kann. Du fühlst dich wie ein Witz. Es ist eine Komödie. Das ist mein Leben. Sam ist nicht da, aber auch alleine kannst du einen Horrorfilm ansehen. Du möchtest einfach nur abschalten. Ein Action-Thriller ist da genau das Richtige. Sam mag keine historischen Dramen. Ja, ich eigentlich auch nicht. Ja, Action-Thriller, komm, was soll's. Das Drehbuch ist miserabel und du bist dir relativ sicher, dass die Hauptdarstellerin die Rolle eher wegen ihres Aussehens als wegen ihres Talents ergattert hat. Das Ende begeistert dich trotzdem. Auch wenn die Seilbrücke, die über den brodelnden Vulkan gespannt ist, jedes Klischee übertrifft. Am Ende greifst du nach der Fernbedienung, die auf den Boden gefallen ist, und findest stattdessen einen kleinen metallenen Gegenstand, der unter dem Couchtisch liegt. Als du ihn aufhebst, erinnerst du dich an Sans Notiz am Kühlschrank. Hey mein Schatz, Charlie hat Susis Geschenk verloren. Kannst du es heute Abend suchen? Als du das Ding näher betrachtest, stellst du überraschend fest, dass es sich bei dem Geschenk tatsächlich um ein graviertes Feuerzeug für Chippy handelt. Sie behauptet, dieser Spitzname sei liebevoll gemeint, aber Charlie macht trotzdem jedes Mal ein finsteres Gesicht, wenn sie ihn so nennt. Du weißt nicht, ob Sam das gutheißen würde. Die beigefügte Notiz von Susi erklärt, Ikristan hat eine lange Tradition, die Kunst des Feueranzündens zu glorifizieren. Ich dachte, das gefällt dir. Mach keine Dummheiten. Sus. Hoffentlich handelt es sich nur um ein Souvenir und um keinen neuen Zeitvertreib, den er sich zugelegt hat. Oder den er sich zulegen will. Es ist schön, dass an ihn gedacht wird. Oder dass sie an ihn gedacht hat. Tag 232. I've been living in a paradise. Und das war zu früh. Zum Zensieren kannst du die Leertaste gedrückt halten. Das ist gut zu wissen. Hat es im Tutorial nicht irgendeine andere Taste gesagt, die nicht funktioniert hat? Ich glaube Alt oder so. Gut zu wissen, dass es dann die Leertaste ist. Das Tutorial hat mich angelogen. Dieses verdammte Tutorial. Ich hasse es. Work safely. Electrified control, protective equipment, operate at your own node.
Jeremy, all yours.
It'll be all right. I'll talk to Bugs.
Oh, good. You can tell him I'll return his wife's casserole dish at our dinner next week. Jenny?
Was haben wir denn hier so? Sportbrett, das Sportbrettspiel. Muss gespielt werden. Das gesagte neue Shampoo vom Auge des Betrachters. Remington Swiss. Ja, egal. Oh.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawson. Our main headlines tonight.
The establishment strikes back. The World Council has agreed today to impose punitive sanctions on the people of this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging, include restrictions on the supply of oil and gas, food, clothing, and even some medicines. But how should we react? We asked the public.
What do you think about all these sanctions?
I doubt it make a lot of difference, Pet. I've lived through 2 world wars and I smoke 40 a day.
Oh, what? 40 Zigaretten am Tag.
Thanks, Patrick. Fascinating stuff.
Popular Prime Minister Julia Salisbury has released a reassuringly brave statement in response to the World Council's controversial announcement.
This
Kommt die Apokalypse ist vorbei.
is nothing short of outrageous. We are a democratically elected government with massive popular support.
Aber sowas
We
von.
do not recognize these sanctions. And we encourage other socially progressive nations of the world to both resist and ignore them. Advance have struck fear into the heart of the international community by showing that it is possible to have radical change for the betterment of the many. And whilst I wish we could improve other countries as much as we have our own, we do not rely on the help of others to thrive. This country is entirely self-sufficient. We are a team,
Glaubt.
now more than ever. And this team is on your side. Thank you.
Defiant stuff. But what do you, the public, think of our government's stance? Robin Short found out.
I was wondering if you could tell me what you think of the government.
What? That shower of iridescent pricks? Punishing success and rewarding laziness? They're taking this country down the bloody Swanee. And it's not just me that thinks so. My wife Iris, she agrees.
Putting the grown-ups to shame. An award today for Camp Busyfingers, which continues to break all production expectations.
A slightly dazed-looking Sophia Remington presented young foreman Alfie Plank and his team with a certificate, statuette, and a moderately generous tuck shop voucher.
So, how do the public feel about the Youth Employment Opportunity Scheme? Patrick Bannon again.
What's your opinion of Camp Busyfingers?
What do you think my opinion is? Should be banned. It's bloody child labour. Is that what you like?
Ich hab das Gefühl, hier könnte bald eine Revolution stattfinden.
Commuters across the capital found themselves somewhat bemused by the latest stunt by controversial protest group Disrupt.
In a baffling start to the day, commuters found performers outside every major station, all dressed and posed identically. Whether we're supposed to be amused or intimidated is anybody's guess, Jeremy, but most commuters didn't even stop to notice.
Well, as long as it's not some grand contemporary dance, it's probably harmless.
But how do we all feel about Disrupt and their eclectic tactics? Robin found out.
How do you feel about Disrupt?
Oh, well, now you're talking. Ruddy hero, showing us not to take it lying down like Iris here.
So you both feel they're a cause worth supporting?
Well, Iris doesn't speak online, but we're pretty sure there's still one in there, aren't we, love? Wherever it is, it loves Disrupt, fighting the oinks for our freedom. And what could possibly be wrong with that?
Do you need me to get you some help?
Bubbling up, intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and Dr. Ingrid Svorsborg-Håkensvoord today sent a blueprint of the escape craft in which they hope to finally leave Dante's taint.
With expert opinions of the plan running the gamut from optimistically engineered to that looks like something my granddad made in his shed, it sounds like the unfortunate team are going to need all the thoughts and prayers they can get.
So what should we think about the escape plan? Patrick Bannon again.
Dare I ask you about the blueprints?
Well, mate, I've never been a submarine engineer, but I have tinkered with a few motors in my time, and I can tell you that thing is not going to work. I'd rather trust my life to Uncle Pat, and I murdered him 10 years ago.
Alles klar.
I am not a number. Applications finally opened today for the new Advanced Team Membership Cards, a scheme by the government to allow fast access to all the new public services being introduced daily.
The team membership cards are entirely voluntary, but will be recognised as legal identification by all major organisations, including the police, banks and, rightfully, pubs and bars.
And of course, there's no charge, Jeremy.
It all seems too good to be true.
Well, you've always been a cynic. But most importantly, what should you, the public, think about the new team membership cards?
Team membership cards?
Absolutely bloody not. It's the thin end of the wedge, isn't it, Iris? First it's, can I see your identification, sir? And then it's, would you mind bending over the table, sir? So Sergeant State Educated and Constable Regional Accent here can stick their truncheon up your berry hair.
Crikey!
They should call them what they are. They're bloody ID cards. Oh, for Christ's sake, what is it, Iris?
Oh, I'm really not happy, Algernon! Crikey.
And finally tonight, Game of Two Halves, fresh out of rehab, repentant celebrity sportsman Johnny Handsleeves is promising to turn over a new leaf.
In a surprisingly energetic appearance on the Whitney Chinwag show this morning, Johnny showed everyone he's certainly full of life and raring to go.
You better not try that on our sofas. I doubt they'll survive the frenzy.
But what should we think of this exuberant behaviour? Patrick?
Oh my god, fantastic!
Wise words there.
Alles klar.
Later tonight, in a bit of a switcheroo, it'll be Jeremy in the culture chair, spitting rhymes with popular rapper Jay Zus. And then we'll both be chatting with a familiar team of thespians set to take the nation by storm again.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
Oh nee! Den Lockdown haben wir scheinbar überlebt.
First tonight, thankfully, some news as we return to our main story.
The World Council today agreed that punitive and potentially illegal sanctions should be imposed upon this country. The sanctions, which come into effect immediately, aim to stop the flow of food, fuel, and even some medicines from reaching your pocket.
The hell?
Tonight, we have guests from across the continent to discuss this unprecedented situation. For Advance, Peter Clement is at his home in Lamfordshire. Are you there, Peter?
Yes, I can hear you, Jeremy. Thank you for having me.
A momentous day, Prime Minister. Are you shaken?
Oh, I don't scare that easy, I'm afraid, old son. And neither do the people of this country.
Well, joining us is Ivan Vodovich, Foreign Minister of Urkistan. Ivan, thank you for being here.
Great pleasure. You, Megan Wolf, are like strongest guard at Labour camp who wake up inside body of crazy, expensive prostitute. In my country, you will be worshipped as a god.
Okay. Minister, as one of those arguing most strongly for these sanctions, how do you feel about Advance's defiant stance?
Advance is like man who thinks he have big career in movies land, when actually he in dirty sanitarium, screaming at mirror and holding tiny penis in hand.
He's clearly not from Svenland then.
We have like some of the cleanest mental health facilities in the continent, yeah?
And welcome to Svenland's Minister of Mojo, Björk. I'm sorry,
Svenland?
Your surname.
It's just Björk, yeah. We don't use things like socially divisive surnames here, yeah.
Minister?
It's just Björk, yeah.
Right, Björk. Your country spoke in favour of advance at the World Council today, but you were noticeably absent when it came to the actual vote.
Well, what a surprise. The hippies didn't show up for the fight.
Actually, that's quite racist, because if you must know, we were going to go to the whole, like, voting, yeah? But it's actually the Festival of Furelands here at the moment, where we honor the old generations. So, like, we all had to look our grandparents' Galinia whilst the vote was happening, and that's, like, a really, really time-consuming process, actually.
You're like sissy man. You have this expression, sissy man? It's like man with tiny penis who like to wash more than once a week.
Actually, that's quite homophobic, yeah,
Oh,
because...
stop winding him up, Ivan. We're not back at the Grange now. Sorry, Jeremy. Ivan and I used to play golf back in my media days.
Yeah, he always wins.
Nothing gives him greater pleasure than grinding people's gears. The more publicly, the better.
Peter, you're like man with tiny penis who think he have tiny penis, but actually he discovered that. Oh, could it be? No, it's tiny penis.
Ivan's just worried that when the rest of the world sees how well we're doing, they'll notice all that dosh that he's got squirreled away. Because that's what these sanctions are, Megan. They're the last pathetic gasp of an establishment in collapse. Wolves at the gates, Ivan, old mate.
Good. They can join others on my wall.
Actually, in Svenland, we have, like, serious animal welfare legislation. Like, my friend Helge, she got arrested, yeah, for killing a butterfly that was hovering over her fuel thing. I mean, in English, jam sandwich.
I used to know a girl called Jam Sandwich. She was a right cracker, too. Wonder what became of her?
We seem to be wandering a little from the news here.
It's human interest, Jeremy. The real people behind the headlines and all that. So if you're watching, Jan, give us a call. Yeah. Let's see if we can't organise a reunion.
Christ, I'm not sure about that. I'll have to run it past Mrs. Clement first, eh?
Peter, you're like man trying to empty ashes of mistresses into oncoming vein. Soon you have tiny penis and beard full of secrets.
In Svenland, we don't really go in for all that restricted monogamy stuff here. We're kind of fluid, actually.
What the hell?
Well, it seems that we are running out of time.
Yes, so before we go to the break, briefly, if you would, gentlemen, with the people of this country facing shortages and
Possible shortages and power outages.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Possible shortages and power outages. Can you summarise your thoughts for us, Minister Björk?
Well, from here, yeah, you all look a bit stupid really arguing about outdated divisive concepts like money. In Svenland, we replaced currency with a system of bodily fluids back in the 1970s, and that's like really hard to sanction, actually.
Thank you, Minister Votovich.
Your country is like man who think he invented perfect trap for giant Newton hairy bear. When really he just standing in field
Holding his tiny penis, yes. Thank you, Minister. And finally, Prime Minister Clement.
Let me talk to your viewers here, Jeremy. Don't worry, everybody. Don't be afraid. Don't even lose a wink of sleep. We knew the rest of the world would react this way, and we're ready. As my old man used to say, you can't make a shite pie without blocking a few toilets.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
Reassuring words there.
We'll be back.
After these messages.
1 minute back.
Hey, Peter, I over your way this weekend. You fancy a quick 9?
Yeah, sure, front or back.
That's what I hope you're asking Megan Wolf for me.
She's out of your league, mate.
Die haben auch richtig Bock.
Well, you have to be more careful.
It's all part of his long-term plan to get fired live on the news at 6 in front of the nation.
Can someone warn him it's going a little too well?
This is important. New government censorship should show up in blue. Same as regular censoring. Keep an eye out for the advanced blue waveform.
Hä? Was?
Are you still meant to bow to foreign royalty?
What?
Should I just like curtsy?
Hang on. Have they given you the Crown Prince report? Well, Megan.
This is Jeremy, and he'll be interviewing you.
No, thanks for having me on your show, man.
What the hell passiert da rechts?
Just a quick one. You're not gonna ask me about the chimp, are you?
Live in 10 seconds.
He put that get up on himself. I'm just saying.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back, I'm Megan Wolf. Later, we have an exclusive first look at a theatrical sensation everyone's going to be talking about. But first, it's time to go over to the culture spot with lovely old Jeremy Donaldson, who's joined by a very special guest. Jeremy.
Thanks, Megan. I have the honor and privilege of being joined by hip-hop royalty. He's been called the son of the streets and the father of truth. Not sure how that works, but whatever. Let's welcome Jesus!
Der wirkt ziemlich sass auf mich.
Yeah, it's a real honor to be here on your show, the news. You know, as a kid on the streets, I used to watch you through a window of the shop, so to be here right now is crazy.
You've had quite the journey to be here today. Can you tell us about it?
Well, you know, I try not to, well, you know, the past is the past, and I don't like to dwell on it.
I understand.
But yeah, man, the streets is all I remember. Like, my mother donated me to a charity shop soon after I was born.
What?
The lady took pity on me. You know, she let me sleep on a pile of crime fiction until I taught myself how to walk.
Wow, that's quite the childhood.
And she died tragically. Right there in my arms, man. You know, I remember a tear falling as she laid there next to the used homeware. And in that moment, I became a child of the streets. I was just 18 months old.
What a tale. What a tale. You're known for your direct and honest lyrics. Was your style informed by your troubled past?
Oh, like I said, I try not to talk about it. It's just too hard.
Of course.
But my first album is about the story of the first 4 times I stole, so I wouldn't starve. A small group of infants came to see me as their de facto leader. They call me Mr. Cheese Slice. Anyway, family.
So it would seem. Recently, you've been quite outspoken about the government.
Yeah, fuck the government. Fuck Advance. Fuck Peter Clement.
What is it that you object to so vehemently?
Well, you know, they stole from us.
Oh, die blauen darf ich nicht zensieren. Verstehe. Glaube ich.
Actually, homelessness has been all but eliminated in the last couple of months.
So?
Surely that's a cause close to your heart?
Yeah, nah, of course, man, very much so. I just mean, like, why do I have to pay for it, you know?
You don't. People have been rehoused on property seized from the historically wealthy. And that couldn't have been you, could it?
I worked hard to be here. I built this from nothing, and I deserve to be rewarded for that.
Would you say you worked harder than, say, a farmer or a care worker?
I don't know. But if people are taking something from my music, choose to value it, buy it, who's to say I don't? And no one can take that away from me.
Not even to help, say, vulnerable children? Mr. Cheese Slice.
What is it you're trying to say?
I just don't understand where you've placed yourself politically. I mean, is it ideological or is it tactical?
Well, it's more of
Or
like...
maybe it's hereditary.
Stop trying to tie me in knots with your words, Jeremy. I let the music speak for itself. And the people agree with me.
Well, that remains to be seen. But you have given me a very easy segue out of a conversation that I promise you was much more painful for me than it was for you. So here he is with his hit song, Mrs. Ludlow's Tears.
Oh no, I'm going to do something a little different. It's a new single I've been working on.
Oh, so this is unapproved, is it?
Yeah, you love it.
Excellent.
Oh boy.
Don't worry, we've got a state-of-the-art censorship system. What's the worst that could happen? So here he is with a new song. Aren't we lucky? It's Jesus.
First, you're gonna pay up. You're gonna pay back.
Well, we're all different races from many different places. At any given moment, only one could be the greatest. So you can feel elation from your participation. Still two leaders in this motherfucking nation. Now we're getting sanctioned, talking about expansion. Why does Julius require a massive fucking mansion? So fuck all your schemes. I don't need your freaky team, and I don't need your help to achieve my fucking dreams. So don't make a fuss when you find you're one of us. Get every single one of you's a bit Jesus. And you can call me crazy, cause no one ever pays me. But I won't waste a lifetime being motherfucking lazy. I may be inventive, my taste may be expensive, but why would I get out of bed with no fucking incentive? Although it's contravention of your obvious intention, I like to eat a little of the fruits in my invention. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. The best of the praise of the crest of the wave, cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. It's time to storm the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. So this is for the snubs ones, the pushed and the shoved ones, the folks who feel the burden of their motherfucking loved ones. Ones who had plenty like a motherfucking Bentley. The ones who now finding that their bank accounts are empty. The ones of aspiration who had to flee a nation. The ones who built a business out of dreams of perspiration. There's all sorts of people, the good and the evil. It only takes a glance to see we're not all equal. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. And the best of the praise, of the crest of the ways, cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to storm the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Get out of your seats, get your asses in the streets, set a fire in the building, let them feel some fucking heat. Say you hate to go getters, you're squilling bed getters, and burn them in the powers of advances fucking letters. Gonna take his facts, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to storm the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Chase that dream, you don't need a fucking team, and advances little dances aren't as hummus as it seems, cause they're stale and corrupt, then your anger erupt, then your hearts and your minds and your fists to destruct.
Jesus there with his new song. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. I'm sorry. I may not agree with you, but I'd just like to offer you an apology. I've just been told that there was some kind of issue upstairs, and an attempt was made to censor some of your notes.
What? Are you joking?
I'd just like to say to you and everyone at home that this was a mistake.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe this.
Here at the National Nightly News, we pride ourselves on remaining neutral, unbiased, and independent of any outside interference. You have my word. We will never censor ideas. Back to you, Megan.
Well, a bit
Oh
of
boy.
dangerous language there, sorry about that. Well, thank you to little Jeremy Donaldson for providing our culture spot. Coming up, we'll be speaking to a couple of familiar faces about their upcoming dramatic outing. Don't go away.
Der Song war nice.
After this.
That's the ad.
Jenny, this is fucking outrageous!
Thank you so much. If you could just come with me.
No, this is ridiculous. Who do I complain to?
This is just a mix-up, I'm sure. Now, if you come with me, I really do have to ask
Oh,
you to
trust me.
leave it.
My father's going to hear about this.
I understand. This is unbelievable, Megan.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jeremy.
Oh, Junge, Junge, Junge.
Just a reminder, fixing that old VCR. Open a new tape. Last ad break.
Das war nur ein D? F sie sich, Herr
Oh, here we go.
Sendungschefbeauftragter Typ.
If we could just get you in position.
Oh, say no more.
Say no more.
Auch nicht die schon wieder.
Mr. Algebra.
Vividly.
And Mr. Harris. And this is Ms. Raiden.
What?
Philippa, please.
We're back together again, eh? Who'd have thought it?
Perhaps a lower order demon.
Yes, it is awfully exciting, isn't it?
Right, okay then. We're going live in 10 seconds, opening on camera 1.
Was zur Hölle? Ist ja ekelhaft.
Welcome back, and no, you're not mistaken. Sitting across from us are some very familiar faces.
You really are too kind, Megan. It was only a yogurt commercial, but I'm still proud of it.
Here to talk about his new show, we're joined by National Treasure Tommy Harris, the National Theatre's Philippa Raiden, and National Deficit Jeff Algebra.
It's so lovely to have you all. Tommy, would you like to tell us about the show?
You know what? I'd bloody love to. It's about me. It's about my life.
And where did the idea come from?
So, right, picture this. Their legs akimbo, mid-session, sweat is pouring out of me like an immense hog. And then Cindy comes in, she says, Pete's on the phone.
That's Peter Clement, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, Pete's actually a really good mate of mine.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, no, he comes to the training sometimes. He's actually a very good goal sweeper. Anyway, so, Pete, he says, Toby, he thinks my name's Toby, see? He says, how would you like to spread your message of team spirit and cooperation across this fractured nation? How would you like to really make a difference in these desperate times?
What did you say?
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, Jeff, the question on everyone's lips
Oh
is,
man.
what in God's name are you doing here?
Well, after the success of my debut work and all the people that I've touched, I knew that I had a career in theatre. Yeah? I've always been an admirer of Tommy from afar. So when my manager phoned and said that I'd been offered the gig as director, I was ecstatic. I whipped my trousers off and got straight to work.
Why did you do that?
I do all my best work with my trousers off.
Yeah, I've been told that too.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Right, Tommy, sorry, would you just give us a sense
Damn.
of what the show is actually about?
It's about how hard it's been for me and some of the struggles that I've faced. It like really getting to the heart of how tough it is to be me. I call it Tommy Harris. Jesus, that was hard.
Catchy. We actually have some clips of the process of the show. Would you mind telling us what's going on here?
Yeah, so the show is built around two things that are very important to me. It mixes scenes from my life as well as epic fantasy retellings of scenes from my life.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
I'm sorry, son. You're an embarrassment.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my
Das
graduation.
einfach. Er weiß nicht, warum er da überhaupt noch ist. What the hell?
Philippa, what's it been like co-starring with Tommy Harris?
I've always
War das gerade Gandalf?
of treading the boards at medium-scale regional theatres, Megan. And for once, this show really gives me something to sink my teeth into.
What's different about this show then?
Tommy, Mr. Harris's show really lets me show my tremendous range as an actor. I've always suffered from typecasting, forced to play the same tired characters in every god-awful yogurt advert or godforsaken soap opera or, God forbid, a pantomime. But, you know, this show has really let me just go there.
Jeff, the viewers at home will be dying to know exactly what is it that you bring to the show.
Good question. I think these guys would agree with me when I say that it's my steady hand on the tiller, my arm round the shoulder approach that's really brought the production from strength to strength.
Absolutely right. Jeff's contributions are immeasurable.
Oh Gott.
He was our role.
Glücklicherweise habe ich da schnell weggeschaltet.
Sneak peek of anything else that might be in the show.
Yeah, all sorts, yeah.
Yep. We've got lots of exclusive first-hand experiences of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
And some epic fantasy retellings of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
Was zur Hölle passiert da?
You'll never take the sacred path! And am I right in saying this was officially commissioned by the government?
Yeah, all paid for by the taxpayer, which, you know, to be honest,
God.
is actually a lifesaver, really.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that without Advance's support, we'd have had to cut the finale.
Which frankly would have been a travesty.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ!
What the fuck?
You do this every night.
Absolutely. It's a metaphor.
For what?
Yes.
And the public are footing the bill, are they?
Too bloody right they are. Between the cost of my tour bus and the dry cleaning of my ties, I'm barely scraping a profit here.
Amazing. And where can the folks at home come and see this for themselves?
We're performing all over the nation.
And people can see it for absolutely free, all courtesy of Advance. Isn't that incredible, Jeremy?
Yes, it's unbelievable.
So much for coming. Next time we see you, no doubt you'll have taken our jobs.
That's all we have time for tonight. Join us tomorrow when I'll be interviewing the world's most attractive horse. I'm Jeremy Donson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. And from all of us here, have a peaceful night.
That's the ads. Let's get reset for tomorrow, please.
Hey, we must stop bumping into each other like this, eh?
Oh.
Ich fühle Jeremy. Nur ein B, come on. Du erhältst einen vollen Lohn. Aktuelle Vermögen kann sich Kaffee leisten. Zu nicht täglich besorgt. Nice. Was gibt's hier Neues? Der Widerstand erhebt sich, würde ich mal behaupten.
Before we go over to the National Nightly News team, there's just time to catch up on our programming later tonight. At 6:30 p.m. it's What's My Old Tap Worth?
Ist das die heutige Episode, also die jetzige, die ich gemacht habe?
At 7 p.m. it's today's highlights from the Sports Board Regionals, presented as always by
Nee, das ist eine andere. Nee, das ist es. Kann ich ja meine... Also gucke ich dann noch die Sendung, wie sie zensiert war? Also wie ich zensiert habe? Mit dem ganzen Piepton dazwischen oder ohne? Das wäre jetzt so die Frage, die ich hätte. Die große. Ja, die komische Werbung, die mehr als nur komisch war, könnte man sagen.
New song. Aren't we lucky? It's Jesus!
First, you're gonna pay up. You're gonna pay back.
Well, we're all different races from many different places. At any given moment, only one could be the greatest. So you can feel the elation from your participation. Still two leaders in this nation. Now we're getting sanctioned, talking about expansion.
Was ist mit der Zensur? Bin ich mal gespannt, wie sich das damit anhört.
Why does Julie Ash require a massive mansion? All your schemes, I don't need your team, and I don't need your help to achieve my fucking dreams.
Oh Gott, klingt ja scheiße so.
So don't make a fuss when you find you're one of us. Get every single one of you's a bit Jesus. And you can call me crazy, cause no one ever pays me. But I won't waste a lifetime being lazy. I may be inventive, my taste may be expensive, but why would I get out of bed with incentive? Although it's contravention of your obvious intention, I like to eat a little of the fruits in my invention. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. The best of the praise, of the crest of the wave, cause we're only equal people when we play. Take this fact, gonna stain it red. Cause he's fit, he's got a job, he's unfit for. It's time to stone the castle with a pitchfork. So this is for the snuff ones, the push and the shove ones, the folks that feel the burden of loved ones who had plenty like a Bentley, the ones who now finding that their bank accounts are empty, the ones of aspiration who had to flee a nation, the ones who built a business out of dreams of perspiration. There's all sorts of people, the good and the evil. It only takes a glance to see we're not all equal. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. And the best of the praise, of the crest of the waves, cause we're only equal people when slaves. Gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red. Cause he's fake as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to stone the castle with a pitchfork. Get out of your seats, get your in the streets, set a fire in the building, let him feel heat. Say you hate to go get will it bet betters.
Alter, wie viel da zensiert wurde.
Gonna take his facts, gonna stain it red. Cause he's fake, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to stone the castle with a pitchfork. Chase that me.
Alter.
Cause they're stale and corrupt. Then your anger erupt. Then your hearts and your minds and your fists to destruct.
God damn. Für meinen Geschmack habe ich da viel zu viel zensiert. Das hätte ich gerne alles viel mehr gelassen, wie es quasi hätte sein sollen. So gesehen. Damit der Widerstand gestärkt wird. So nämlich. Ich speichere und beende mal. Und würde damit dann für heute tatsächlich, oder was heißt für heute? Für heute Mittag quasi den Stream beenden. Und wir würden uns dann heute Abend nochmal hören. So gegen 19:30 Uhr, 20 Uhr ungefähr. Hoffentlich, wenn alles gut geht mit Among Us. Ansonsten denke ich mal, würde ich Doom anschmeißen. Und ja, ich würde dann erstmal sagen, ich bin raus. Ich habe jetzt auch nichts zum Hosten. Niemanden zumindest, den ich hosten würde jetzt hier. Der einen Host gebrauchen könnte, würde ich mal sagen. Aus dem Grund, wie gesagt, für heute, ach, für heute sage ich schon wieder.
Still meant to bow to foreign royalty.
What?
Should I just like...
Jetzt hat erstmal dann quasi, ja, Ende für jetzt. Heute Abend geht es dann gegebenenfalls weiter mit Among Us, wenn wir genug Leute zusammenkriegen, hoffentlich. Ansonsten, ja. I guess Doom Eternal oder so. Bin mir noch unsicher. Aber wenn alles gut geht, dann heute Abend mit Among Us. Ich bin jedenfalls raus, wünsche euch einen schönen Nachmittag. Und wie gesagt, 19:30 Uhr, 20 Uhr ungefähr Among Us. Mit mir und vielen weiteren anderen Leuten hoffentlich. Und ja, macht's gut. Genießt noch ein bisschen das schöne Wetter. Zumindest ist es bei mir sehr sonnig. Ich werde gleich noch ein bisschen an die frische Luft gehen und so. In die Sonne. Und man hört sich dann später wieder. Euer Steve. Bis heute Abend dann.
you're gonna pay back.
Well, we're all different races from many different places. At any given moment, only one could be the greatest. So you can feel elation from your participation. Still two leaders in this motherfucking nation. Now we're getting sanctioned, talking about expansion. Why does Julius require a massive fucking mansion? So fuck all your schemes, I don't need your freaky team. And I don't need your help to achieve my fucking dreams. So don't make a fuss when you find you're one of us. Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus. And you can call me crazy, cause no one ever pays me. But I won't waste a lifetime being motherfucking lazy. I may be inventive, my taste may be expensive. But why would I get out of bed with no fucking incentive? Although it's contravention of your obvious intention. I like to eat a little of the fruits in my invention. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. The best of the praise of the crest of the wave. Cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Take this fact, gonna stain it red. Gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. It's time to stone the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. So this is for the snub ones, the push and the shove ones, the folks that feel the burden of their motherfucking loved ones. Ones who had plenty like a motherfucking Bentley. The ones who now finding out their bank accounts are empty. The ones of aspiration who had to flee a nation. The ones who built a business out of dreams of perspiration. There's all sorts of people, the good and the evil. It only takes a glance to see we're not all equal. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. And the best of the praise serve the crest of the ways. Cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red. Gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to stone the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Get out of your seats, get your asses in the streets. Set a fire in the building, let them feel some fucking heat. Say you hate to go getters, you're squilling bet betters, and burn them on the powers of advances fucking letters. Gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red. Gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to stone the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Chase that speed, you don't need a fucking team. And advances little dances aren't as harmless as it seems. Cause they're stale and corrupt, then you're angry. Lend your hearts and your minds and your fists to destruct.